and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
I'm Christopher Hughes.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
And today we're going to be talking about 1984's Mugsy's Girls.
Yeah, God bless him.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky ain't got no real poach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl a little hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.
So before we get into the movie today, a little bit of grind business. Chris,
Yes.
I have an object
Oh,
for
Jesus
you
Christ.
that was sent to us all the way from down under.
Ah.
From our good friend and listener, David. Now, you know, David has sent us the still shots from the movie The Van
Yeah.
that I still have yet to scan into my computer and upload to the
So you're already
internet.
giving this away. It's still shots, is what you're trying
Those
to
are
tell me.
mine.
Oh, these are more still shots then.
He has sent you a gift, Chris,
Uh-huh.
which
Do we have
the
predictions?
requirement is Chris must keep this in his home. Chris, why don't we unbox this live on the podcast?
Are we
Audio
gonna
Any predictions?
are we gonna film it or what? I mean, we can put it on the Twitter.
Film it. Here, he's got his camera ready, Hughes.
He's got it ready. Hughes, go ahead.
He's got it
We can do
ready.
both if you want, Hughes. I mean,
Here we go. No, wait, hold on. He's got to have that microphone.
yeah.
This
I got,
is gonna be a challenge. You got to unwrap it fully.
Are you serious?
Yep. Christmas morning. You gotta open it up, show it to the family.
No, that's it. You took what's in there. Now open it up.
It is a Lunch Wagon poster.
Not only a Lunch Wagon poster, Chris.
Oh, not only.
You must see the size of this poster. This is a full theater one sheet
Wow.
from the movie Lunch Wagon. Chris, please tell me you're getting a frame. He's just staring angrily into his phone camera. Will this find a place in the Mann household?
Where like there's a spot I think under the bed.
You mean over the bed?
Well,
Thank you, David.
Yes,
David.
please.
In all honesty, thank you, David. This is very thoughtful, thoughtless, one of the two. But no, I really appreciate it. Actually, this is David. I appreciate the thought. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. They're gonna. Oh, God.
Fold it back up, Chris. We'll get you a frame for it one day, and we'll hang that up right in the Mann household. The manhole.
It's the name of my gay bar, the Manhole.
So let's get into the movie today, huh? Hughes, you've brought okay, so we didn't really discuss this. I guess we did on the last one, is that we're going to have everybody pick movies until it becomes a problem on this podcast, which we'll see if it lasts more than this week.
I feel we're teetering already.
This was a Hughes pick. Hughes, explain yourself.
There used to be this show called USA Up All Night back in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And they used to play these stupid movies
Hosted by Gilbert Gottfried, by the way.
for a couple of seasons. Yeah. And then this was one of their mainstays. This is one that they started with. I believe I've seen it before, but it was when I was like 9. So I dug up their list of movies. I'm like, oh, we'll try this one. It looks terrible. And I was wrong. It was great.
Yes, Hughes, you've been texting me all weekend actually, telling me how wonderful this movie was. In fact, we have a group chat for the Grindbin that you just texted everybody, "You'll thank me later." So
How much later?
we'll find out what everybody feels about it. But I do have one good thing about this. A Vestron video release.
Yes.
And boy, do we love Vestron video on the Grindbin, because it's responsible for Night Force, one of our favorite movies of all time. I really think I'm going to start digging in deeper to the Vestron video catalog.
Can we please?
Because,
Yeah.
wow.
They have yet to disappoint.
No, I mean, we're kind of spoiling it, but Hughes, it was a quick, nice 80 minutes. I did enjoy this movie way more than I thought I would.
It was
Since it's
quite.
a- go ahead.
It was quite brisk at the pace. The things that happened, you know.
Yeah.
Things just move.
It moved.
Next thing you know, the movie's over, and it's like, well, all right.
Since it's a Vestron title, does that mean we can hold on to hope that there's going to be this sweet ass Blu-ray coming?
Oh, if there was a Blu-ray
That
of Night
Vestron
Force,
series that
oh
just
my-
came out not too long ago.
Wait, whoa! There's a Vestron series that
Yeah,
came out.
yeah. That's a one of the, much like Shout Factory and all the the boutique labels for Blu-rays. They started one called Vestron. They put out Chopping Mall. They put out Blood Diner. They put out pretty much anything Lionsgate or Vestron had.
Well,
what I'm saying is there's a chance for
Oh my
Mugsy's
God.
Girls.
And I mean, come on, with the star power in this movie, the Blu-ray of Mugsy's Girls, oh my God.
I'd watch it again.
Hughes, if it comes out, happy birthday.
I hope you're looking forward to 3 copies of that Blu-ray.
This movie, although is not usually known as Mugsy's Girls. In fact, if you look it up on IMDb, it will be called Delta Pi. And it was apparently renamed Mugsy Girls upon re-release. But I'm not so sure that's the case. Because instead of a trailer today, we have a little bit of an interview that refers to this movie as Mugsy's Girls and not Delta Pi.
So that renaming must have happened very early on.
Yeah.
Both names are horrible.
Yeah, not great.
But I would prefer Mugsy's Girls. Delta Pi means nothing to me.
No,
It's
not in
like,
this movie.
You name it after the sorority, who gives a fuck? Like, it has literally nothing to do with it. It could be called, like, anything else besides Delta Pi. I mean, Mob Rules.
Mob Rules.
This is total Vegas rules. I love this movie.
Yeah, this was a real, right before they filmed Jocks, they were filming Mugsy's Girls. This was a 2-for-1 deal, I feel. The movie was filmed in Vegas, which is the other note I have, so Mob Rules. And that's very clear in this movie. Very, very clear. This is also filmed when, like, Vegas wasn't popular. Because there's, like, fucking nobody anywhere. They're out on the Strip.
They're on the
Nobody.
old Strip.
Well,
They're
that's
on
what
the-
used to be the Strip in
Yeah.
1984. I mean...
That was like where it was happening.
Yeah, I
This is,
mean, Fremont
Street.
Yeah.
Now this is where you go to die.
Yeah. They tried for a little bit to make Fremont Street good. I think it's okay
It's
now.
actually been better. It's nice. I went there in December. It was nice.
Yeah, I've been hanging out there the last few times. There's quite a few sketchy places to park your car, and more sketchy is the elevators down. I feel like there's ever going to be a Final Destination moment in my life. It's every time I get on one of those elevators and all the buttons are broken and there's just piss all over it.
Yeah, but the hipsters have found downtown Vegas, so they're making it nicer.
Yeah, it used to be the only place you could go for the real cheap blackjack tables, and now they're taking that too.
Yeah, that's gone.
Getting all
God.
gentrified.
Well, if you want to do
It
fun, you want to have fun, you go down to the Container Store in downtown, or the Container. It's Container Park.
Wait, if you want to have fun, you go to the containers.
Oh,
then.
yeah. The Container Park, and it's like these shipping containers that they made into like a mini mall, but then they have in the middle of it, they have
terrifying.
They have adult-sized like McDonald's McPlay place
Oh no.
with like a like slides and jungle gyms and everything, all adult-sized.
The Grindbin does not endorse this.
No. I felt a great weight on my shoulders.
I
just
just-
now. Like, I
You
felt
enter
bad.
when you enter it, it looks like Mad Max. They have a giant praying mantis made out of metal,
And that's the last thing you see.
shooting fire.
This doesn't sound
of
like
it.
something that I'd want to go see.
Did you hallucinate this on your bender when you were there in December?
No, I was mostly sober.
Do you know what I always go to in Vegas? Is the
The
pinball
pinball.
museum.
See, there we go.
You can play
That's better than the container
I mean,
store.
every pinball machine you could imagine. They have over 200 pinball machines. It is really good. I go there every time. I force people to go when they're all hungover, and I am not. I go, whatever you do, get ready. If you're riding with me, you're going to have to sit at the pinball museum for
Cool.
2 hours before we fucking leave.
Cool.
How is that a punishment for anybody? That sounds amazing.
Like,
Do they have
oh.
the Nightmare on Elm Street table?
You know, I don't
Where
know.
Freddy
they
spits
have,
the ball
they
at
have
ya?
like everything. I mean, they have like 3 different Ted Nugent tables. I mean,
Wow.
all sorts of things.
The news ball. Oh my God.
What's really funny is like I think it's a non-profit, but
On
it's
the Ted
run-
Nugent one, does only the right flipper work?
Thank you. Good night. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Grindbin. Bobby, start the van.
What's really funny about that place is that it's like a non-profit, but it's run by the state. So a lot of guys that get out of jail are like hired to work there for like their parole jobs, and they never show up.
Parolee Pinball Museum?
So they never show up, and I like every time. There's been 2 times I've been there where the guy's complaining. He's like, "These motherfuckers, they never show up."
This is
supposed to
amazing.
Fix pinball machines, and these ex-cons never show up for work. So,
All
what
right,
are you
can
gonna
we
do?
film a documentary? Can Grindbin Films be a documentary about these guys?
Oh, I'd love to go back there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I love it. That's the only reason I like to go to Vegas now.
Yeah.
The whole rest of the town, you can just fucking nuke it.
Fuck it.
It's no
yeah,
fun
it's
anymore.
a fucking cesspool.
Yeah, it's a bunch of. It's like going to Coachella or something. It's just
Or one of them hipster festivals, you know.
you just like have you ever been to San Francisco on the week of Burning Man?
No.
It's the fucking best weekend to visit San Francisco because all the assholes are gone.
Oh.
There's no traffic. You can just go around and you're like, where's all the pretentious people?
It's like I Am Legend. You're just walking in the middle of the street.
Yeah, you're just like, this is a great city.
Hey, Ashbury's just completely empty.
Just the sound.
The newspaper blowing by.
I visited San Francisco multiple times on Burning Man weekend, and it was great. So let's get into the background of this movie. We don't have much for the crew. In fact, we only have one person because the same man wrote and directed this movie, Kevin Brody.
This was his baby.
Yeah, well, he only wrote and directed 3 movies.
Okay.
That's it. This movie in 1984, and then not another movie until 1993.
No way.
Wow.
A movie called Treacherous, which starred C. Thomas Howell. And then 1999, A Dog of Flanders.
Oh,
And
I've heard of that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. He was more of an actor. 24 credits, lots of TV. He was born in 1952, and he started acting at the age of 9 in Battle at Bloody Beach, 1961. He was in 1966's The Night of the Grizzly. 1967, 8 on the Lamb, which is a movie about Bob Hope finding 10 grand in a parking lot.
You say 10 grand.
Bob, you're here?
He's swinging a golf club.
Oh, I tell you.
Tell you 10 grand, tell you.
What's that?
Yeah,
Don't tell my wife.
apparently he finds 10 grand in a parking lot and then the cops want it or something. Like, that sounds like, what the fuck?
They would.
Hey, where's that 10 grand? We saw a guy with a golf club and he kept...
With a USO jacket on.
I tell you.
Yeah, the elves are working overtime on Christmas, Congress.
Thanks, Bob, for stopping by.
Always welcome here on the Grindbin.
I wish we could get you on here more often, Bob. I'll tell you. We really like hearing from you. You've only appeared one other time with that Jaws
He has, huh?
called, what was it called? Something like some sort of Christmas Jaws special where apparently people told jokes and then Jaws ate them after their set was done. So instead of the hook, they got the shark. Now, do you think Jaws ever bit anybody's dick in it, or do you think it was like a head bite? That's what I'm wondering.
I think for the sake of shaming them, we'd go for the dick first.
Nothing would be funnier to me than Bob Hope getting a Jaws to the dick. Like,
We're going to need a bigger dick.
oh, I tell you, it's on my dick.
Swatting at it with the golf club.
I don't know. I was married to the shark.
Oh, Bob, we love you. The only other movie he was in was 1975's The Giant Spider Invasion.
Sweet.
Which is what I have written down. Actually, he was in more than that. Because his last acting credit was in this movie as Party Stoner.
Went out on top.
I don't know who that is.
I mean,
Wait,
there's
do you
like
think
20 of those people.
Holy fuck. Do you think he's one of those punk guys?
Oh, maybe.
Party Stoner.
Yeah, the director would give himself that role.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, that's not the last you're going to hear of the Giant Spider Invasion, by the way. Let's get into the cast. Oh, boy. We're going to start with the real heavy hitter of this movie, Ruth Gordon, who plays Mugsy. Well, we got an Oscar winner again here on the Grindbin.
I think she won a Tony, too.
Well, okay. I didn't have Tony written down, but I have... She won the Oscar and Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress in 1969's movie right behind you there, Rosemary's Baby.
Yes.
Cool.
She was nominated for 4 other Oscars, and she won an Emmy for her role on Taxi. She was also very well known for her role as Maude in Harold and Maude in 1971. I also have written down 1980. She was Any Which Way You Can with Clint Eastwood. And then this movie. And unfortunately, she passed away shortly after making this movie in 1985.
Well, yeah.
It was all the funny cigarettes.
Apparently, they said this movie was released posthumously, but that's not what I have. So I have that it was released in 1984. So unless she died early and they didn't find the body, it was released while she was still alive. So she was 88 years old, though. So she was not long for this world by the time she'd passed away. So. But thank you, Ruth. What a great body of work, and to leave us with Mugsy's girls. That's an interesting choice. Laura Branigan, who plays Monica. Well, another tragic story. She's known much more for her singing career. including hits like Self-Control and Gloria. She was on the soundtrack for movies like Ghostbusters, Coming to America, Flashdance, and much more. This was one of 2 movies she was in. The other was a movie in 1988 called Backstage that even less people saw than this. For some reason, she decided to act instead of sing, and this was her choice of a movie.
This
now,
was the
guys,
big breakout role.
why don't we find out why?
Why she wanted to be an actress?
No, why Mugsy's Girls? Why don't we take a listen to something Bobby found on the internet?
I think you'll
the
enjoy
old
this.
interweb.
All the cards were held by you. There was nothing I could do.
Laura Branigan describes herself as an actress whose voice keeps getting in the way of her career. She studied acting, but is usually cast as a singer, as she was in an upcoming Automan episode.
You can feel the heat of love in the touch of every stranger.
There's a great similarity between singing and acting for me, because singing is acting in its own little realm. When you sing, you have to believe the song totally.
In 1982, her recording of Gloria sold more than 1 million copies. She's followed that with 2 more top 40 hits, but still hasn't given up her intention to become an actress.
Margaret, we're rolling.
And action!
Branigan has now made her first feature film, co-starring with Ruth Gordon in Mugsy's Girls.
$20, a little volunteer work, and our lips are sealed.
Mugsy's Girls is a low-budget comedy about some wild sorority sisters who'll do almost anything to raise money. Branigan's film debut isn't likely to win her many critical accolades, but criticism doesn't seem to faze her. When she isn't busy performing, she's busy fighting a $15 million lawsuit filed by her manager, whom she fired just before her record started to sell.
We might settle out of court. I really don't know. I'm just relying on my lawyers.
How would you describe your image? How you want your listeners and your viewers to see you and think about you?
I think, it's important to be sensual without being blatantly sexy. I think there's a fine line between that. And I always like to come off with a bit of class.
Now, I really, really love how that interview ends with her saying she likes to come out with a bit of class regarding this movie.
Is the irony detector going off?
Now, Hughes, you commented while we were watching that you don't think she looked like a very nice lady on set.
She looked like she was very difficult to work with.
Well, I have no information about that, but I do know from looking at this, by the way, that you also commented the marker said Mugsy's Girls.
Yeah, the marker in the interview says Mugsy Girl, so when was it ever Delta Pi if they were filming?
I feel like it must have been switched to Delta Pi, and then they went, nah, that's a terrible idea, and switched it back to Mugsy's Girls.
So, Laura Branigan, by the way, unfortunately, tragic ending.
Yeah, it gets pretty sad along the way. After her 2 films, she takes 10 years off because her husband falls ill, and after his passing, she decided she was going to mount a singing comeback. She was doing the county fair circuit for a little while, and that was going okay. She recorded a new album, and then tragedy hit her, too. And that in 2004, I believe it was, she had an aneurysm in her sleep. And that was a wrap on her.
So, unfortunately, the 2 main people in this movie have passed away. So it's unfortunate, but we're used to that on the Grindbin because we cover all these movies from past decades. But it's always sad when somebody dies young. Like, it's a real Claudia Jennings type thing.
Yeah.
It's always sad when we go through these and find those out.
Yeah, but Mugsy, at the time of this recording, Mugsy, the person that played Mugsy, Ruth Gordon, was 87 years old.
Yeah.
She was born pre-1900. Yeah. She was born in like 1895, for real. Think about it. She died at 88 years old in 84.
So she was still around when, like, the Civil War was a fresh memory.
Yeah.
So, like, picking muskets out of the fence and musket balls. And
Yeah. As a child, she used to find musket balls in her backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. Hitler rose to power when she was in her 30s.
This movie was supposed to be the female Animal House. So I believe the reason they've rebranded it to Delta Pi was they're like, well, people are big into sorority movies. Also, at the same time, we have Revenge of the Nerds coming out. All these movies, so they're just like, fuck it, we'll throw it in with that bunch. But nobody gave a shit. Nobody saw this movie, even with Laura Branigan and Ruth in it. Nobody fucking saw this movie.
Somehow that star power didn't bring him in, huh?
Yeah, speaking of star power, let's get into the next person He's soon to be Grindbin All-Star Eddie Deason, who plays Lane in this movie.
Oh, Lane.
Oh, definitely most famous for his role as Eugene in Grease 1 and 2. He has 85 credits to his name and lots of voice acting, including one you might know. 1979, 1941, he was in that movie.
Yeah, he was a ventriloquist. He got stuck on that was that Steven Spielberg movie that was really good.
Oh.
Mike famously hates this movie.
Hughes is the only person on earth that might... Yeah, I'm going to... Get out of here. Get out.
You're done.
This microphone is about to be mysteriously unplugged.
1981, Grindbin All-Star.
Yes.
For a movie we have not watched yet. Stigler and Stigler, the Grindbin All-Star director of Tentacles.
Oh, yeah.
Eugene Eddie stars in that movie. Remember, it's about two guys that moved to San Francisco and they're like, they're gays here. And that's the whole movie, apparently, is the culture shock.
That's a whole genre, I think. You
Yeah.
got, like, Norman, Is That You? And you got Partners. It's just like a gays. That's like a whole genre of film.
Stigler and Stigler, which went in the background on Tentacles, was like, he was like, oh, yeah, Saturday Night Fever, I could do that. I'm sure he could. He did Jaws very well. Very well. And the worst fucking movie we've covered on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So far.
Oh, yeah.
The bin gets pretty deep.
Yeah, we'll see how many more Hughes picks we can stand.
Fuck you.
A Hughes choose?
A Hughes choose.
Hughes choose.
Every time, it's always a wonderful time with a Hughes choose.
1983, he was in War Games as Malvin.
Sweet.
1982, Zapped.
Oh, wow.
With Scott Baio. 1984, soon to be Grindbin All-Star. He was in Surf 2.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be covered soon. Too.
Yes, it will be covered soon, which I think
coming attractions.
We can preview it now. This June on the Grindbin.
That's right.
I'm sorry, wait. This July
on
the Grindbin will be Sequels Month. We will get into it more on the next episode of Grindbin. 1988, he was in Critters 2.
Awesome.
Great movie.
Yes, love that film.
Now here's where he starts getting into more voice acting. 1991, he was in the movie Rockadoodle.
Fantastic. Was he the titular character?
No, he was not. Whatever. What was his titular character? Cock
was he not called Rockadoodle?
Rock and Cock? Are you telling me that whole movie didn't have one character named Rock Cock or any sort of thing like that? Cock Rocker.
Penis rock.
It's about a rooster who's a rock and roller.
I think Rock Cock was in the Fantastic Four movie.
And then the one we're probably all familiar with here at this table, 1996. He's Mandark in Dexter's Lab. You remember that cartoon?
He was the tall, skinny.
Yeah, he's Dexter's foil, I guess, the bad guy in the show.
Yeah.
And I definitely, when I saw that credit, I'm like, I remember that voice now. He was in 2004's Polar Express. Another real Zemeckis classic. Oh, boy. Ever since Forrest Gump, he's a real winner, that guy.
God, that picture of Tom Hanks in that movie is just so weird.
Haunts your dreams.
It haunts me.
Yeah. You know what haunts my dreams is that fucking The Walk. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Yeah, that movie he made about...
oh, God. Is Gordon...
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing a Frenchman who walks across the Twin
guy
Towers.
From Man on Wire?
Yeah. But he made it into a drama.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
Nobody
but I was
fucking
like, nah.
saw.
Well, right.
And they're like, the Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 3D. The Walk.
I'm going to walk across the Twin Towers and look down, and you look at me, and I'm going to play a Frenchman.
And then the last credit I have written down, he was recently in the 2015 SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. He played a character in that. So he's pretty much transitioned all into voice acting. Okay, so the last person I have written down, Steve Brody, who plays Jack Enhoff.
never gets old.
Was that the Enforcer? Who's Jack Enhoff?
Jack Enhoff was the guy who looks like Ron Jeremy playing Steve Bannon.
He's the villain.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who calls the Enforcer.
He's J.R. Lamar.
The promoter.
Basically,
yeah.
Okay.
The guy with the cowboy hat and the cigar, who doesn't even bother to show up to the ending of the movie. He's like, no, I ain't going to do that. No. How about we just film all the scenes right here? I'm not leaving this off. You have me for half a day. This is all you're going to get.
And don't call me Jack Enhoff for nothing.
Yeah. He has 167 credits.
Wow.
Quite the career, 4 decades, and then this. He was known... He was known mostly as a B-movie bad guy in hundreds of films. The only movie he was in after this was something in 1988 called The Wizard of Speed and Time. And that was it. Mugsy's Girls was one of his last.
Wow.
And I think it was a real Ironside situation and where he maybe refused to stand for a role. Unless there's there's that one part when he stands up. So we get into the movie, guys. Do we have anything else to add before we get into this treat today?
No, I think we're ready to go.
That Vestron video logo comes up. We're ready to roll.
I feel a tingling of warmth and satisfaction about to just come all over my body.
I do have to say I was excited when I
Slip
saw
into
that
a warm
logo.
mud bath.
There's only 3 logos I get excited for. I'm kind of scared of American International. I'm like, oh no. We'll see.
Yeah.
A Crown International logo, a Vestron video logo, and a Canon Films
Gotta be
logo.
Canon, yeah.
I'm very excited when I see all 3 of those because I know something's coming up.
CVC, Crown Vestron.
Crown Vestron Canon.
The holy trinity of the Grindbin.
Who put out Night Patrol?
Night Patrol? I
Yeah.
don't know. They can burn in hell for all
I
I
was making sure they weren't part of that.
I don't know, but I hope
travesty.
they're dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll blame it on Paramount or something. So opening credits, and I write, what the hell? Because the opening credits to this movie, I write, is like a cross between the In Living Color credits and the Partridge Family.
Yeah, I felt like it was a game show, but also Monty Python's Flying Circus. I was waiting for
There
the
you
foot
go.
to come
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Like Terry Gilliam did the opening credits for Mugsy's Girls.
I was like, at this point, I'm like, fuck you, Hughes. Are you serious?
Yeah, they put way more budget, interest, and time in this opening than they did the rest of the movie.
This is-
Script-wise, joke-wise.
There's all sorts of
Yeah.
animations and heads popping up all over the place. And they even credit the rabbit, by the way.
Teacup as himself.
Himself.
And to that point you just made a second ago, I may have said "fuck you, Hughes" about 8 times throughout this movie.
At that point, though, at this point, I'm very interested in what will follow because this is legit weird.
I am uncomfortable.
Especially when they start putting Lane's face on the rabbit.
Do you remember like the 80s always started out with animation titles?
There were quite a few.
And
Yeah.
they're really long and bad.
Like,
All of them
stay
were
tuned.
bad.
That's how you pad the runtime.
Yeah, you're right. They're like, oh, fuck.
Opening credits to end credits, baby.
We only got 79 minutes. You got that animator friend of yours? Maybe you could draw something up. Yeah, do that thing where you put the face on the rabbit. That fucking killed me. I loved it. They did that like 90 times. They're like, are you laughing yet?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, just maybe 20 more times. Maybe I'll get it then.
They made the rabbit famous, though, by the end of it.
Yeah.
Definitely the star of the film.
Yeah, married and divorced twice in Hollywood.
Honestly, this rabbit might have gave a better performance than some people in the cast. It might have been actually it was in the movie than a lot more of the girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about you guys, but there was a girl in this movie that I didn't even realize was a separate character until later in the movie, and I'm like, wait, there's 2 blondes?
Oh, you got them mixed up.
I was like, what the fuck?
I'm surprised I couldn't keep track of which girl was which.
Well,
in
And
this
of
movie.
course, I
They
started,
put a top hat on one of them for most of the movie to
Okay.
differentiate.
and
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
her name is Magic.
Yeah.
But I called her Blossom because she wore hats all the time.
Yeah.
So I was
Mayan
like,
Blahnik.
yeah, here we go. Fucking blossoms in this movie. So we start on the most LA street ever, which I'm like, I thought this movie was filmed in Vegas. This is such a fucking LA street. And did you notice the newspaper dispenser in front of a house?
No.
Like there was like a LA Times dispenser
Yeah.
in front of somebody's house. And I'm like, well, that would be fucking annoying.
Well, no, it's LA. They won't get a break and rent. Who am I fucking
Yeah,
kidding?
it must be Mr. Times. And he's selling the papers right on his doorstep.
Yeah.
And then 2 girls pass by this sorority house that's all trashed, and they complain that they are degrading women and all sorts
Apparently,
of things.
TPing a house is degrading to women.
Yeah.
I don't know how that make that connection, but
And I thought this was a fraternity. I didn't know we were going to be going into a sorority. I had no idea where this was taking us.
That's the joke.
It is.
They're women.
But they're just as filthy as any man.
They're dirty broads.
oh man,
These broads are dirty. You gotta love them. Oh, God. I feel like Mr. Crowd he loved the idea of like an old lady. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
man.
oh god, we
He's
gotta
picturing
get this.
a smoky, dark room for a private viewing. You hear the projector going, and Mr. Crown just laughing his ass off watching this movie.
Oh, this first scene, he was just dying throughout the whole thing. He thought this was so fucking funny.
It's like that screening room part of Cannibal Holocaust. Only instead of burn the film, he's like, can I keep this?
Like, you know, the Cape Fear remake, when Robert De Niro is watching Problem Child laughing his ass off with a cigar. I imagine that was the screening room, and Mr. Crown just like, did you see that, old bro? Yeah, throw in the pit, make her wrestle. Oh my god, it's great. And Ruth is just like, I don't feel good. Come on,
Poor
baby.
woman.
I saw you fuck that young guy in Ireland, Maud. You still got it.
Should have called you Magic.
Magic mouth, eh? So we go inside the house. We have Monica, who's Laura Branigan. Grindbin All-Star from Tomboy. You didn't notice her?
No.
The girl who's her friend in Tomboy is one of the main characters of this movie, Hughes. I just call her Tomboy because I don't know her name. Jackie, who is a rich girl who we will barely see.
I don't know if you noticed in the opening credits, but the actress playing Jackie is a one-name actress. Her
Really?
name is Estrellita.
Really? Oh, wow.
Meaning little star.
Oh, that's
I
fancy.
feel I feel really bad for this actress because I feel like this was a little. They're telling us we got to put a little bit of color in it.
Yeah.
I do think that's the case.
She's that dash of seasoning they threw in this.
Can you fit? They're telling me over at this group called the NCAA that I need to put more than white people.
Wait,
in my
the
movie.
NCAA?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I fully believe that's who he thought was talking to him.
You mean the college basketball?
Yeah.
NCAA is telling me I
Oh,
gotta
I'm
put
sorry.
somebody
That's not
in
what
it.
it's called.
NAACP?
Yes, that's what it is. They call me up and they say,
the NWA is telling me I gotta put.
"You ruined my joke. You ruined my joke."
Start from the top.
Goose stepping in
Once more
here.
with feeling, please.
They're telling me that our movies are too white. I don't know what that means.
We use too much white balance.
I think
Can
they
you
mean
bring
too
me
clean.
all the headshots of girls?
Can't we just fix it in post?
So we're gonna hire this one girl. Can you write her a few lines? Not too many though, because we're already paying enough. This movie's costing me out the ass. I thought Ruth was gonna do this as a favor.
I'm going so broke, I gotta collect that teepee off that house at the end of the scene.
One guy can't even get to leave his office for the movie. He's a real son of a bitch, I'll tell you. Oh, by the way, I said that wasn't the last time you're going to hear of that great giant spider movie. That's because the guy who plays Jack Edhoff was in that movie with the director. That's the
Fantastic.
only reason that he's in this
No,
movie.
really?
Is because the director starred in a movie with
He
him.
needed a friend of his to come in and
Yeah.
sit at a desk.
Hey, would you sit at a desk for a little bit? No. How much does it pay?
It's like Catch the Heat.
yeah.
Favors were owed.
I'll cut that out if you guys are uncomfortable. But that is definitely the case, is that
That's fine.
they added this girl who plays Jackie because they needed somebody who wasn't white in this movie, and they gave her no lines, and it's
She's
horrible.
got so little to do. It's
And then we have a girl in a top hat who's apparently named Magic, but I
Magic.
just called Blossom. The rabbit. Oh, yeah, and some girl that sleeps on the floor, who I forgot was in this movie until, like, halfway through, and I'm like, wait, who's this other girl? So I just call her Mystery Girl.
Which
She'll
one is
pop
she?
up every now and then. She has about as many lines as Jackie. See, you don't even remember her?
I'm trying to remember which girl that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's also the nerdy girl.
Yeah, Velma.
Okay, we haven't got to her yet.
Yeah.
Because these girls are sitting down there like, we don't have any money. And then Floor Girl, Mystery Girl, reads a job ad in the paper about mud wrestling and how they can make money doing that. Then the nerd girl, Velma, comes downstairs. And she's all upset she can't find a man to marry or something, is what I write down. I mean, she walks down the stairs, she's like, well, Monica, you told me if I came in this sorority, I would have found a man by now. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on so far in this movie?
Well, she doesn't want to go to school anymore, so she needs to get married so she can be taken care of.
At this point was a real fuck you Hughes moment. I'm just like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
That was one of mine too.
And then Monica's like, hey, we should wrestle, but with whipped cream and not mud or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then some guy walks in and says one of the girls was a wildcat, and they all wonder who fucked him.
Yeah, it's like whichever one of you I was with last night, you were a real wildcat.
And you know what? Mr. Crowd laughing his ass off because in walks Mugsy.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be so fucking funny. This guy's going to walk in. He's going to be like, which one of you ladies did I fuck last night? And you know what? It's the old broad.
She has like this weird, deep, scratchy smoker's voice.
She sounds like she should be yelling at Mike Wazowski.
And they go like, we need to get together again sometime.
Anytime you want to do it again.
Yeah, I was like, emphysema has hit.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like almost dead.
Like you said about being unclear about her date of death to the movie, I think she died before this movie.
And the way that conversation ended was just like, yeah, I like him when the guy screams.
Yeah, she calls him a real screamer.
This shit got dark.
Yeah. And
She's like the antagonist from Goonies, too. She has kind of the same voice and it's kind of the same, like...
Yeah, just imagine if
I only dropped you a couple times.
Just imagine if the antagonist from Goonies fucked a guy in his 20s.
Yeah.
And then he's like, my God, I'm embarrassed. Can I... And they're like, well, if you give us $20, we won't say anything.
And favors.
By the way, he threatens them in a very dark way. He actually, at this point, says, like, say anything about this, and I swear I'll kill you. I was like, where the fuck is this movie going?
I'll bomb this whole fucking house. I'll set it ablaze.
You'll never find any of you.
You know what? It probably would have been for the better of everybody on the street, in that college, and in this movie, if we had just burned that house to the ground.
Yeah.
Mugsy, that's what she calls him, a real screamer, and gives him a little punch on the cheek.
It was loving. It was a loving tap.
Ruth has shrunken down to like 3 feet tall at this point in her life. Like, she is so much shorter than this guy. She literally has to lift her arms up the full height possible to punch him in the cheek.
Oh, God,
she looks like that lady from Dune, Linda.
She looks like the height of Zelda Rubinstein in this movie.
Oh, yeah, she is.
I want to see a movie that would have been
There's
great.
a mud wrestling match I'd watch.
That would have been great if Zelda Rubinstein was in this movie, because that would have been hilarious to see Zelda Rubinstein fuck a guy in his
In
20s.
Mugsy's role, if this was Zelda's girls.
This man is clean.
She said, wiping her mouth.
God. So then
we get the first.
He was just trying to get through this movie.
We get the first original song entitled "Mugsy's Girls."
Mugsy's Girls.
Which, by the way, Laura Branigan's in this movie. There's not one song she sings in it because, again, she said in that interview she wants to be an actress and not a singer. It keeps getting in the way. I feel like they're like, Laura, can we please have you? Laura, can you please do one song? I even got Linda Blair to do a song for that movie. It turned out great, by the way. Never too high, never too low. She always is right in the middle of the key, always on the key of flat. We're wondering, though, if you could do a hit song for this movie. We feel like it could really sell some tickets. No.
And she's like, I'm an actress now.
Yeah, she apparently refused to do it. But they have this Mugsy's Girl song. And we see as they're hanging around flyers for, I guess so they read in the paper that you can be a mud wrestler and make money. So they just decide that we should just do that at our
and
house.
They just set it up like a yard sale. They're just posting it on everything. Car doors and trees. And
they steal a janitor cart and then they just start throwing flyers everywhere around the school.
They stole money from a charity.
They steal money from a charity.
Yeah.
Then they come and they steal a pool from a toddler.
Yeah,
They
literally
pick the
as
toddler
he's
up
in the
and
pool.
take the kid's pool away and just leave the kid there on the grass.
Well, they push the pool so all the water drains out. Then they just pick him up and leave him on the grass.
There's nothing funnier than stealing a pool from a little girl.
They grab someone's kid.
Yeah.
And then take the
It's
pool out
fucking
from
hilarious. What are you talking about? That's not
At
funny.
this point, these are our protagonists.
So we go to this party, and Monica's announcing the festivities because Laura Branigan, like she said, a little touch of class. She was not going to get naked for this movie, and she was certainly not going to wrestle more than the one contractually obligated scene. That's for goddamn sure. She will not sing a song on the soundtrack. She will not get down to anything other than a one-piece bathing suit. Good for her.
Man, she is the Bill Goldberg of mud wrestling.
She's barely in this movie.
Yeah. She got away good.
This movie is 2 guys, Mugsy, and a rabbit.
Yeah. And then, okay, so Blossom and the lady from Tomboy comes out to wrestle. And then the Tomboy girl just starts making out with a guy instead of wrestling. And then we cut to 2 guys on a school bus.
Yeah.
Like a roof of it, right?
At first, this has no context to... I'm like, wait, whoa, did the movie just cut to another movie? Because Lane, this extreme nerd dude, I think... And I think we know who he will get with.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. This is a horrible, like, well...
Yeah.
You know, They're destined to be
There's
together.
someone for everyone.
The nerd broad, the nerd boy, together at last.
It's romantic, isn't it?
They should stick with their kind, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
I'm a big proponent of that, if you didn't know. Yes, Mr. Crown, that's enough. That's enough. We have the other guy is just... I call this guy Bro Guy.
Bro Guy.
Yeah.
Because he's just some bro, and he's tanning on top of the school bus, right? And I write, what the fuck is going on? We've gone to some Mad Max world where Lane, who he will either dress like a Boy Scout or a World War II pilot, is dressed in this fucking hat and these goggles, and he's running around going like...
I fucking hate him. He's the most hated character in this film for me.
Oh, absolutely. That was responsible for at least 2 fuck you Hughes that happened during this.
Yeah.
And they apparently have a flyer to this party, the mud wrestle party, which we're seeing them on this bus like in the middle of fucking India or something. Like they're nowhere near LA.
The wind blew a flyer all the way to India.
Yeah, like where the fuck are they?
If they would have just walked up to like a telephone pole and pulled the flyer off,
it would have made more sense.
It would have made sense.
But they apparently needed somewhere to park the bus, and they wouldn't let that thing get within the LA city limits. Like they're like, no. And that's got to stay in the desert.
Yeah.
Either that or it only could...
Yeah, these 2 goofs come rolling in on a school bus.
Like
Cops
this-
pulling them over immediately.
This thing couldn't leave the state of Nevada, I don't think. They have a flyer to this party, and they say something like they're going to go to this party because we don't...
They need a team for Vegas, so they're going to go to Vegas and they're going to offer it to these people.
This is the worst setup to a plot we've covered on this show so far.
Easily.
This is worse than the plot of Lunch Wagon. Like, at least it had a parking spot that was being argued over. This... as we get into it, makes zero sense.
None.
There's no sense for any of these people to meet. There's no sense to ever leave the state of California. It's fucking stupid.
It's the first of many senseless moves that happened in this movie.
Yet I have enjoyed this movie, which I still can't understand.
Because this is like 20 minutes in already and it's movie's flying.
It is flying. So we go back to the party, and there's this whipped cream wrestle fight, and then Mugsy comes home in a taxi, and she's going on and on about how... Well, the driver says something like, well, next time maybe you can remember your address instead of just riding around the city for a while.
Yeah.
And she's like, I haven't been cruising like that in years.
Yeah, Mugsy is tragically senile.
It's like, what the...
We're supposed to be laughing at that.
I think she was trying to fuck the cab driver. Like,
Maybe.
I really do. Because she was just like, I haven't been cruising like that. Why don't you come back, Sonny?
I ain't dead yet.
Because he's like, I need $15. She's like, what? Come upstairs? He's like, no, I need $15. And she's like, I'm old. And then she runs inside. She does, though.
She does. Yeah, obviously she's faking that to get out of pain.
Yeah,
right?
well, she comes home and because Blossom comes out to greet her, and she's just like, oh, hey, Mugsy, what are you doing home? And she's like, what do you got the boys over? You having some sort of fuck party?
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, yeah, and they're like trying to like not let her see what's going on.
Yeah, something about like if she knew what was going on, they were going to stop the party.
Yeah.
So she's the house mother.
Okay, how long have they known Mugsy for? It's like, come on, Mugsy should be like down.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought at first there was 3 options. Is that Mugsy was either a homeless woman they let stay with them, she was going to college, which I was like, is it? I've heard of getting your degree as an old person.
Yeah, you
but
see that in the
come
news
on.
periodically.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
on.
that's like every DeVry commercial.
Yeah.
I'm 88. The cancer ain't got me yet.
Whatever school they promote between like Maury Povich and Springer and all those shows.
Yeah, it's yeah, a real Everest College thing.
ITT Tech.
But like she
Get that TV VCR repair degree.
Or she is a house mother, which she is. We
Yes.
finally find out
That's
that
the
she's
answer.
the house mother. What the fuck does that even mean?
She is responsible for making sure the girls are safe or something and keeping the house of the sorority together.
Yeah, every sorority has that.
Yeah.
At least in the movies. I don't know about real
But
sororities.
they were trying to like get her drunk so that they could have this party, but that didn't work. So they sent her to the movies. She showed up early, and they're trying to stop her from coming in.
Yeah, so they just get her high instead.
Yeah.
A funny cigarette.
So she I guess tries to fuck that taxi guy and then tries to get out of paying her bill.
I'm pretty sure she fucked him.
Taxi guy who doesn't leave.
Yeah, no.
It's weird.
Actually, I do think he comes back later in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he comes back much later in the movie, actually. I believe that it's the same actor at some point.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Bugsy, so she goes outside and she doesn't like what she sees. And I wrote, didn't she just fuck a young guy or something? during a party?
Yeah, she's getting more action than these sorority
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
Like, what does she even care? She's just like, oh, another young dick for me to fuck. Like, that's really what she's doing. Yeah, come over here. I got lots of experience. You know?
Good.
I can take these teeth out.
And this is her time to shine in the movie. This is where she's going to start dropping one-liners.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, it gets.
And then, okay, this is when I also realized that, like, while they're watching the match and they're giving Mugsy funny cigarettes, we realized that she apparently was in the army, and she wears she wears her army patch. What the hell do you call this?
The insignia
Her
of
stripes?
rank.
Like
It's a rank insignia.
She wears
Yeah.
her army.
She's got her stripes on her
rank
shoulder.
insignia.
In every
I'm sorry, did you say something, man?
on every outfit she has.
Yeah.
Like, if it's on her dress, she sewed it on there. If it's on a jacket later in the movie, she sewed it on there.
It's like,
if it's on a pair of sweats.
I think this was a actor choice. Like, she was trying to, like, I served at some point, you know, and she's got to, like,
That's a Civil War insignia.
How do you think Hitler died? I sucked him off.
I was going to say which side.
I didn't say what army. Like Mugsy's some runaway Nazi. These did kind of look like SS.
I was just following orders.
Mugsy's regaling everybody with her World War II stories and her Nazi plates, and they're like... She's like, hey, that looks like fun. I think I'm going to go wrestle or something.
Yeah, it was something about like she shouldn't have retired from the army and that she wants to get in there.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's a crazy sex ritual.
Yeah. Well, it looks like an orgy's going on.
It definitely
they're not
looks,
wrestling.
It looks like a backyard porn's being shot.
There's like 12 people in that tub full of pudding.
Well,
and-
Tomboy's already got her shirt, like all of her clothes off, and she's making out with guys and pulling them in the pool. She's wrestling a man, by the way. Quote, wrestling a man.
Well, didn't a guy pull out money and be like, yeah, I got next or whatever, and get yanked into the pool?
Yeah, that's right. I did right. She's like selling herself at auction.
A dude like bid money to get in the pool with her, and she's like, get over here.
They are trying to raise money to save their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if she needs to take one for the team,
Definitely.
she will.
That's
Right?
respectable.
In the eye.
Then we get to see these. So those prude girls from the beginning of the movie are like peering over the fence, going like, "Wow, we never had parties like this over at Alpha House or whatever."
Yeah.
And then these punk guys. No, I don't understand
These
this.
two guys.
What are they like what's going on with the unthreading her?
Thank you. What is going on?
So
Yeah.
what they do, let's go through it. They sneak up and they attach fishing lines, little hooks to their outfits, and then they drop back, get a little tension on it, and then they hold hot dog wieners.
Oh my! Thank
In
God
their
it was
hands.
a hot dog. I thought he
Did you
had
think
his.
that was actually
I
their
thought he
dicks?
had his dick out.
No, they had
I
hot dog
rewound
wieners.
it.
Yeah,
They've
I saw
got
it too.
uncooked franks.
Yeah.
And
All
so
I
when the
saw-
girls panic upon thinking that a man is flashing them and attempt to run, their clothes tear off, and Mr. Crown shits himself.
Could you see the police? And they're like, "No, officer, it wasn't a real dick. It was a hot dog. It was a hot dog. I swear." Yeah.
You see the grill marks on it?
From what I saw in the shitty
They plump
quality,
when you cook them.
I saw two men holding their dicks in their hands and pulling girls' skirts off, and I'm like,
this is why
okay.
Vestron needs to put out a Blu-ray. Get through that confusion.
Yeah, get on it, Vestron.
If you're listening, Vestron.
We thought a sexual crime had taken place. Apparently, they pulled those girls' skirts off, and then instead of like running away, they run into the party.
Yeah, they hop the fence away from the weirdos with their dicks out.
Yeah.
And fall into the pool.
Into the pool, like they're gonna run away from it into the actual.
Yeah, and then
Hilarious.
a big orgy happens, and Mugsy says like, "Well, if there's a dick out and I'm not in there, I'm getting in it."
And
So
she comes flying in like Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
like she's got her mouth
Meaning
open,
she
ready.
killed somebody.
Whatever it lands on.
Yeah, she's already doing the splits midair.
She fucking tackled some dude right into
it's
the
a
pool.
full-on spear.
Like Goldberg.
Yeah, like Bill Goldberg. They cut away before she gave him the jackhammer.
Oh, she
Before he gave her the jackhammer.
There was a jackhammer for sure. So we go to the house party at night, and some sleazy dude. Okay, so we go. The whipped cream orgy is over. We go to this party at night, and then some sleazy dude. Did you remember? Some sleazy dude comes up. All right, so like Mr. Crown himself makes a cameo in this movie, and he's like, "Girls, I loaned you that $2,000. It's about time you pay me." And he's like, "Well, we could work out some sort of arrangement, and we could go upstairs, and I could maybe get a little bit for that interest, you know."
And he stole all their door money.
Yeah. Apparently he's loaned Jim $2,000 and he wants to make an arrangement. And then we just kind of leave that. We'll never see this man again.
They reference him a lot just by name, that they owe this guy money. We don't know how this works or what the deal is there.
And then we have to watch this nerd girl. So Velma's trying on a bra with some sort of balloons in it?
Yeah, it was like an inflatable bra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she got it
she
from
must
like
have got that out of an ad from the back of a comic book.
She says like something like mail order.
That's not the only time she mentions a mail order thing. She orders a bunch of things from the mail. We'll get to the other one later.
Yeah, what type of mail order she's getting?
Oh, I like that next one.
She's got quite a catalog.
Model rocketry.
Yeah.
So
science nerds.
While she's trying on this balloon bra and blowing it up, so her breasts are giant in this bra, which makes zero sense because everybody knows her already, and she's just going to go downstairs. And at one point, some guy says, like, "Ooh, your brain's not the only thing developing, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, you're a fucking idiot. Also, it's the same guy who fucked Mugsy the night before.
In the same shirt. He is still wearing the same shirt.
I don't think he left the house.
Nope.
No.
I think he just stayed in Mugsy's room.
And there's like these guys spying through her window.
Yeah,
like
it's the same guys who did the old wiener trick for her.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was
a
the
running
punk
gag.
guys.
It's these same two guys.
Okay,
Oh,
so they're
okay.
spying on her. For some reason, the guy's hanging upside down, which makes
They're
zero sense.
up in a tree. He's got his friend by the ankle, dangling him upside down. And this brings up something I want to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
This is a trope in a lot of these films. There's always like Slumber Party Massacre and a lot of other things like that. There's always the bros trying to help each other jack off. It's this weird like, all right, now you're going to stand on my shoulders, and then later you're going to tell me about the titties you saw, and we're both going to hack it.
Well, no, he goes, tell me when to start stroking it. All right, I got it. I got it in my hand, ready for you. Okay, tell me when you see her. I'll start going.
Now, I've had a lot of very close friends over my life. I don't know anybody I would ever help dangle upside down to peep on somebody.
If you close your eyes, it's like I'm not even there.
Like, what is the end game? Are they gonna masturbate together? Like, do
I
they
think-
then go home and talk about it?
In this scenario, on this one, the man is hanging upside down. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. They're just gonna go home
in
and
so many movies. It's just dudes like, what do you see up there?
he's gonna go home and he's gonna be like, all right, now I'm gonna get my pants down. Tell me what you saw.
Exactly.
And he's just
so
closing his
hot.
eyes. He's
Go
like,
slowly.
yeah. Keep talking. Keep
I
talking.
was so hot, and she had this bra, but her tits didn't fit it, so she was blowing on the bra.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the bra was inflating, but then she didn't have
All
a
right,
cord.
I'm done. All right, your turn.
Get him up.
Now tell me what you saw up the street when you were standing on my back. Like, I don't get why that's a thing in all these movies.
It also makes zero sense in this movie because her window is literally on the second story roof. Like, you could stand on the second story roof and look right in her window, but for some reason he's on the roof above that one, hanging a man upside
it's
down.
the blood flowing to your head. It's why David Carradine choked himself with a belt. It's all part of it.
Well,
The weird thing is, how do you even get a hard on if all the blood's rushing to your head? I don't think you can get one upside down. Man, you've done this. Can you get one upside down?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That was
glad we covered
Wait,
that.
Chris, was this something you did in the Boy Scouts?
It was actually a merit badge requirement.
Do you think they're like, hey, there had to be a time in the Boy Scouts where some guy's like, do you think you could get a boater upside down?
It was called a flush totem, as the badge was called.
Yeah, absolutely. They do the trust fall, and then the next week they do the tree dangle.
Yeah, the
The
flush.
inverted erection, yeah.
Yeah, the flush totem was a.
the flesh totem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
you hang upside down and then you whittle.
The guy falls, though.
It's like you were there.
Did you also say something? Was there ever the time that the words were muttered, if you close your eyes, it's like I'm not even here?
I had to say that on multiple occasions to my tent mate.
Yeah, you told us many times that Boy Scout trips would usually be, boy, I hope they have some sort of receptacle. A lot of sticky socks by the end of those trips.
Yeah, oh God.
Oh,
I
God.
was a
we
Boy
had,
Scout
we
for
had
about 3
scouts
weeks. I
getting
can't.
busted left and right, not just by their tent mates, but like senior patrol leaders, like adults. It was like embarrassing.
Was there any time where they're like, all right, everybody
They got
gather
busted
around.
getting busted.
We got to talk about this. You got to keep your hands off your dicks.
That's not why we're out here. Look, we take this very seriously in the Weeblo.
It was Boy Scouts at this rate. It was a big scandal because one of the senior patrol leaders. He's like 17 years old, and one of the dads. First thing in the morning, this guy is just like, "Oh, time to raise the flag, so to speak," and
Oh boy.
and go and he's doing his thing, and one of the adult troop leaders comes in and is like, just doesn't say anything, and just notices him, and he goes, "Get up," and word spread, and we were. joined by these scouts from Ghana that were with us, and
Ghanese scouts.
Ghana, they're really nice guys. It was like one of those, it's international, so you're mingling with all these other scouts all over the world, and they were very nice. And they were asking me what happened. I'm like, I don't even want to say this, because later that night he found out that his tent mate ratted him out for it and was telling everybody about it, joking about it. So now he finds out, and we see them chase each other for it, and we hear this. And it's dusk, and it gets darker and darker. So they see these two flashlights like bouncing around at night in this deep valley, and you just hear like laughing. The flashlight in front is slowing down from the laughter, and all of a sudden the flashlight behind him catches up, and they both drop and hear screaming.
Whoa. Jesus Christ. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds like some sort of something that happened in sleepaway camp. You know what I mean?
And then the new scout leader, Angela, showed up the next day.
And then that's when I told the Ghanese scout, I'm like, well, the cat's out of that bag.
So to say.
Yeah, instead of saying. And he just started busting. I'm like, oh, ha, 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 ha.
I imagine them going back to Ghana and being like, those Americans are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Don't ever send us there again.
Yeah.
Never seen so much cum. What did you guys learn in America? And then they just drop their pants and like, no, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop it.
They still use one hand.
Okay, so back to the movie. Basically, so that guy hanging upside down falls like neck first, like head first.
Oh, he's dead.
Snaps his neck on the top of that roof. I was like, I did think he died. And so then
Mick Foley off the Hell in a Cell.
And then you just see Mugsy just giving a toast. We immediately cut to Mugsy giving a toast to Delta Pi, and then she starts dancing with men. And then we see that Blossom or Magic keeps that rabbit under her hat most of the time.
Yeah, she only pulls it out of the hat to blow smoke in its face.
And I'm like, how much fucking shit and piss is in that lady's hair?
Oh, God, yeah.
Tons.
Because I had a rabbit at one point as a kid.
You
Did
did?
you keep it in your hat?
Oh, that rabbit became very violent, and we needed to...
Oh.
It was a horrible
A
rabbit.
violent rabbit, huh?
I would never get another rabbit as a pet.
It had fangs.
What about
and
for
it was-
eating, though?
Well,
No.
They're good to eat.
This rabbit, at one point, it got like we had to move it out of the house, and we built a hutch in the backyard for the thing. This is when I was a kid, and the rabbit.
What kind of video games did you let it play?
No, it used to chew through all the Nintendo cords. I think it fried its brain at some point, but basically, we built a hutch in the backyard for it, and like it dug its own hole under the hutch, and it would just hide in this hole. And when you came to go feed it, you had to wear jeans because it would grunt and bite you like constantly. It would go, and so only my dad would feed it at one point. And one day we found it dead, but.
Oh, no.
Just so you know, Thumper did get his licks in because we found a trail of blood leading all the way back to the slope. So the coyote probably ate it, but it got some hits in.
Oh.
It definitely
You should have seen the other guy.
Yeah, it didn't go down quietly, I can tell you that. So Velma comes downstairs with these huge fake boobs. And this punk guy says the line that I have written down is they're just they're nodding their heads up and down, and he says, "Hey baby, why don't you lift up your skirt and let me give you one of these?" And starts just bobbing his head up and down.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, is he just gonna like headbutt her in the vagina? Is that like?
Is that what he thinks going down on someone is like?
Yeah, he's like, I heard the term going down, so.
How Greek.
Like, no, that's how you do it with a guy. You don't. It doesn't work the same way.
Well, these are the guys that have been doing it with each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is how
All
it
he
goes.
knows is you bob your head up and down.
And then we have an attempted rape.
Yeah.
Is a girl smoking a hookah.
Oh.
And then this man, like Quagmire from Family Guy, just kind of bobs his head and walks up and just grabs her breast.
Just walks right up and gets a hold.
Like, doesn't even say hello. It's a little, how do you do, honk, honk.
Yeah.
And she just takes him by the arm and, like, throws him on the ground.
As she
rightfully
should.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. Then the bunny eats a joint.
Well, because he's woefully addicted now.
Yeah, so he's...
It's got him by the horn.
For the rest of the movie, the bunny has entered the gateway drug. Okay.
And he is a main character now.
Yeah. Then there's a man in some sort of steam machine who I believe is coming while steam is coming out of this thing because you didn't notice this guy? It's a guy in like the steam machine from Dolomite.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's one of those sauna things.
I didn't think that was happening. I thought he was like trying to get out because it was too hot.
oh, I thought that was an orgasm
No,
face. And it was
no.
because there's all this steam coming out. And he's like, oh! And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's a real interesting thing to do at a party, but
Like it starts overflowing and it's coming out the neck area and it just like starts dripping.
I thought it was some sort of sex machine.
The problem with adamantium is once it cools.
It was like this is what sex toys were like in the 80s. You know, it took up the whole room.
Man, these steampunk
Like
kids.
large computers.
Yeah, like a computer from the 70s, like a fleshlight in the 80s. It was like a whole machine you had to get.
Yeah.
This
Took
is
out
a
an entire
Gen
room.
1 Apple masturbator.
Yeah.
And then Tomboy's fucking a guy while the punks look through a keyhole. And there's this part where she goes, "Okay, put it in."
Go ahead, put it in. What's wrong? Is it in?
It is in.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh,
You
that
got the
old
small
chestnut.
dick.
Isn't that funny?
Oh
Maybe
my
she
God.
started with blowing him. She would have found out earlier.
Now just get right down to it.
I've never had that problem. Never had that problem. But wouldn't it be so funny if a guy had a dick so small can't even fit in the lady?
Not like mine. Mine's huge. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah,
Huge.
Huge.
I'll prove it at any moment. Any moment.
You want to see? You want to see? I cast a shadow.
I don't care how many lawsuits have come through my desk for me saying this exact thing. I'll do it again and again and again. They will never shut down Vestron Video. Never. He gets as many lawsuits as Fox News. This
Yeah.
guy. Like,
Yeah,
it's just one after the next.
Yeah.
Do you think the people over at Fox are like, not again? What do we need to do? Just fire every guy that works here?
We got rid of O'Reilly. That was like 3/4 of the lawsuits.
They just had another today.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, really? What happened?
Oh yeah.
Was it Tucker Carlson?
I think that the guy is just serving.
Can you imagine
I
Tucker
think there's a
Carlson
guy
trying to sexually harass
outside of the
somebody?
Fox News office just serving papers as people walk through the door. This is the easiest job I ever had.
It's like he's passing out flyers.
Oh, they have one for you, Geraldo, one for you.
Oh God, Geraldo, piece of shit.
And so then some guy pisses in a cup because
Yeah, it's a callback gag because earlier this beer bully
Yeah.
snatched his beer from him and just drank it. Like, what are you gonna do? And smashed a cup against his head. And so now we cut to outside of a men's room. Or a bathroom, if you will.
A hallway.
A hallway. And this dude doesn't want to wait. And then Beer Bully comes by, and this dude starts chuckling and giggling and carrying on. And ha ha ha. The Beer Bully drinks a cup of piss.
he drinks piss. Can you believe it? I know. The funniest thing in my whole fucking life. Some guy drank piss. Can you believe it? Thought it was a beer. Yes, Mr. Crowdweight. This is great.
Normal.
This is again a cocktail napkin of a movie. Like
Is
we've
it-
just written down every gag.
And it's also around this time that we get that weird close-up on Teacup's eye.
Yes, I
He's
was
the
nibbling
right.
fire-
on
the fireworks?
Yeah, fireworks are going. I want the rest of the movie in Teacup's POV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the scene ends with him just being so high
Oh, he's on a magic carpet ride.
that there's fireworks in his eyes, and that's how it ends.
And we don't explore that. It's just like, bam, and then move on.
Then we go to the morning, and Velma's complaining that Mugsy's stealing all the men. So apparently, Mugsy struck again. That magic mouth found its way around the party, and somebody got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I call Lane and the bro guy the bus bros.
I like it.
And they have arrived at the party. So the bus bros are here, and apparently they're the ones who placed the ad in the paper for the mud wrestlers. I guess?
Yeah, they placed the ad, then the girls copied it, and then they're like, "Hey, you're a team, so come with us to Vegas and wrestle."
Not one
I feel
person.
like that was the pitch for the film, but he was just
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
that was
Definitely.
it. That's all he had
yeah.
to say.
Come to my office. What's your idea for a movie?
So these guys, they need girls,
I like it.
and it's a mud wrestling
Sold.
thing
Yeah, Mr. Crown's already got the checkbook flipped open.
How much you need, kid?
in Vegas. So I need 100,000.
Oh, in Vegas? Oh, perfect. Mob rules. Keep it going.
and I need a bus
Yeah, okay.
and one room.
This is sounding great.
Yeah.
Tell me, what type of girls are we talking about here? Are they going to get dirty? And you can fill me in on the details later. Do you have a script?
I got a page.
Okay, well, we shoot next week. Can you,
We're
can you
halfway
fill
there.
in the blanks? I mean, this was just like what do you mean we only got 30 pages?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I thought we wrote a script. This is just a treatment. What the fuck am I going to do with it? We got to have dialogue. I told Ruth this was going to be a hit. She's an Academy Award winner, this broad.
How do you sell somebody on this?
Well, Ruth, we're thinking we know you're close to death. This would be a nice send off for you, you know? Give something for people to remember you by, you know? You can show that you're still popular with the young men like you were with Harold.
No, they're going to take a veteran and then try to teach up the other girl on how to act, and it just didn't take.
Yeah.
That's what this
you
movie-
think that Laura Branigan was like, I need a real mentor.
I think so.
Get me that Oscar winner. You know that one?
Well, she did, I don't think she won
from that
anything.
demon baby. So we go to so the Bus Bros. Now this is where I fucking lost it, and I was a real fuck you, Hughes. And
You
I
were
was
a
like,
wreck from this point on.
God damn it! This is where if I had watched the movie myself, I would have immediately disqualified it for being on the bin because this is so fucking stupid. These guys come in and they go, hey, we saw that you had an ad for mud wrestling and we have an ad for mud wrestling in the paper. They're like, oh, we saw that. And they're like, yeah, would you want to go, like, we'll drive you to Vegas and we'll split the profits 50-50 and we'll drive you there and enter you in the contest? That's what I got.
Paper thin, yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
And I write,
There's our plot.
what the fuck are they talking about? They can just go to Vegas themselves. Why didn't they need the bus?
No, he had a relationship with the promoter.
Then why did they put out a classified
I mean, she
ad?
makes that argument that, like, well, why do we need you if we can just go to Vegas?
Bus Bros, why do we need you? Can't we just get in one of our own cars and drive to Vegas and enter this contest? And by the way, how many teams are in this contest?
Oh, Mike, you know the theory in this movie? Women can't drive. That's why. That's the whole logic in this film is women can't do anything by themselves.
More or
apparently.
less, yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
That's
That's
a
what's so
concept through
sad
this
about
film.
it.
You women can't get anywhere without me, so...
In
you know.
1984, Mr. Crown is saying, like, no. It makes sense because they don't know how to do it. They need a man to get them the job. You know, that sounds really sexist, Mr. Crown. Sexy?
It's a real Spinal Tap situation.
This is a real sexy movie.
Hey, what's wrong with being sexy?
So the leg...
Do you know the difference between the words sexist and sexy?
Yeah, one is sexier.
It's
the sexist of them all.
Yeah. I like this kid.
Just got myself a job.
Thank you. I want this guy to stick around. He knows what I'm talking about here.
Sexy, sex, or sexist.
What's your name, O'Reilly?
Sexy,
call me Bill.
sexist, tomato, liberal media too, you know what I mean?
You don't have to tell me the difference between sex and sexy and sexist. They're all the same shit, all right? Welcome to the 80s. Reagan's in the White House. We do whatever the fuck we want in this country, all right?
Mob rules.
Mob rules, baby. We're filming this in Vegas. And so then the profit's 50-50. That doesn't even make any sense. And then
It should have been 2377.
they said we have a deal with the promoter, and I go, there was a goddamn ad in the paper, so what the fuck does that even mean? And then he goes 60-40 is his final offer, and I write, do not agree, Monica, do not agree. I'm writing this as the movie's going on. I go, do not. She does.
There's a long, drawn-out thing where they're
Yeah,
all
but they
staring
don't
at
say
each other.
who got
considering-
60 and who got 40.
No, just 60-40.
60-40. Yeah, sure.
That'll work. And the whole time during this scene and many other scenes, the blonde girl who's not magic is like wooing like Ric Flair.
Yeah, mystery
Like
girl.
Mystery girl. Her entire character is just the one girl at the bachelorette party who's not the bride but is having the best fucking time and is really obnoxious.
Halfway through this movie, they're like, oh, fuck, we forgot to give that broad something to do. Give her a pair of nunchucks. All of a sudden now, she's like Bruce Lee. She likes those Bruce Lee movies, okay? But we never established that earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I noticed that when we were watching it. Like at some point, I think the actress found a pair of nunchucks while they were roaming around in Vegas. It was like, this is gonna be my choice. I'm just gonna start swinging nunchucks around.
I feel like that's how she got noticed. Like Mr. Crown at one point was like, "Who's this broad that keeps showing up for the movie? Is she in this movie? I don't remember paying her."
Cynthia Rothrock showed up.
You telling me she's a character? Like I gotta cut her a check when we're done with this? Holy fuck, she better do so. Oh, you got them nunchucks. I like that. All right, you're in. I'll give you some lines. So we go on the bus, the bro bus, okay?
The school bus to Vegas. The bang bus to Vegas.
We are on the Magic Mystery bus here. And Lane, who's dressed as a World War II fighter pilot, has rigged the bus to become some sort of party mobile.
I didn't get this. They like had a ball opener. They go, Lane, your invention is so cool. I'm like, I
invent all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's
it's like I don't know how to explain this guy other than he sounds like Mandrake from Dexter's Lab, or like Chris's Bob Hope impression, but if you sped it up. So.
But this is not the important part because we have to get to another gag with Mugsy.
Well, not only so with Mugsy eating, like she
doesn't want to smoke anymore because every time she's been smoking lately, it's doing weird things to her brain.
It makes her horny.
And it makes her horny.
She mentions that a couple times in the movie, that weed makes her horny. Which is what you want to hear from the girl.
The weed makes me horny.
And so instead she eats a pop brownie. And then the driver eats one. Lane eats one too, but this will never pay off.
No.
And then Tomboy
it does kind of.
Yeah, more or less.
Taking a shower in a tub in the back of the van. Because this girl, her only job, like basically her contract, it was one word, it said nudity. And that's all she was required to do, this poor girl. Just get this girl naked in a tub in the back of the bus. Why there's a tub, like it's a tub with a shower head.
It is a full, like, iron claw
tub.
Like
a porcelain tub.
Yeah.
In the back of the bus.
With windows.
Yeah, and then for some reason, some pirate van with the words Nevada Nasties on the side of it.
Yeah, this is like the Glow Girls showed up in the A-Team van.
Yeah, totally.
It
was
looks
weird.
like a mobile prison.
And they don't have any, like, there's no windows, it's just bars.
It's just like a gorilla cage that's been installed to the side of a van.
It's the new Raiders team van.
Just a prison van.
It's just a bunch of bars and like these ladies like going through it like trying to grab at the bus and stuff.
They're wading through with shit and piss on the ground, and there's no water. It's all hot.
Like this has all become Mad Max.
Yeah.
At this point, like this is Dead End Driving all over again. And
that's why the nerdy guy's dressed the way he is. He's like the helicopter dude from Mad Max.
Yeah, I was like, where the fuck are we?
Which
like,
in a second we're gonna even get closer to that.
I mean, I've been outside of LA. I get it. I mean, I get it on the way to Vegas. You know,
yeah,
if
I've
you
been
ever
to
been
Indio.
in Baker, you know.
Oh, Indio, man. RVs with planes on them.
And then Monica is quickly realizing that these bus bros were full of shit. And I rate, oh really? Just now. The van runs them off the road, so the Vegas Nasties run them off the road, and then their bus is broken down. But for no reason at all, we're going to introduce a new element to this movie, which I certainly did not think would come into play. Something from the opening credits where I was like, what the fuck is that? A flying machine.
Mm-hmm. Where does it come from?
He had it like hidden in the bus.
Yeah, it was an ultralight on top of the bus.
Yeah, it was like this Inspector Gadget shit that just sort of. Well, he's an inventor, this nerdy guy.
Yeah, and apparently he's invented some sort of like Wright Brothers plane.
Yeah, it's called an ultralight. It's an actual plane you can buy still.
But they say he invented it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, hey. So the bro guy's like, hey, Lane, will your flying machine work? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then he flies off in it.
Yeah, and it's a long flight that he takes.
We're not even talking about the chicken he plays with the trucks.
Yeah, this is another one of my fuck you Hughes
Yeah,
movies.
just skim over this scene.
But
for
there
the next
is
five.
a good joke, though, when that redneck trucker guy comes to
Jake
pick
the
him
Snake
up.
Roberts in the truck.
And he picks him up, and it says Las Vegas or bust, like on 3 different signs. So one of them says Las Vegas and then the tomboy is holding the one that says bust.
The one that's contractually obligated to get naked.
Yeah, and she just has her shirt off and it says bust.
Get
and
it?
the guy goes, holy shit! And slams on his brakes and picks him up, of course.
And Mr. Crown's laugh at his ass off.
You know, it'd be really funny. Bust. Do you get it? You guys
Because it also means titties.
You guys get it, right? You get the joke?
Does nobody get it? Is anyone even here?
Yeah.
Nobody was there.
These meetings are not fun when you just all stare at me when I'm giving you gold here. Here at Vestron Video. I need yes men. Where's that Bill character?
That's the time he was in the ladies' room.
Bill.
That's my boy.
You know, the other day he drilled a hole in the... I shouldn't say this.
Research.
I'm going to get another one of those I'm going to get one of those papers again. Those ones I just throw in the trash.
Yeah.
And we have this bro guy flying over the Las Vegas Strip, and I can't believe I've written this. He's flying over the Las Vegas Strip in some sort of flying mechanism, and then he crash lands into a wedding, and he runs through a cake and into the pool, and then he's wearing the cake like a life preserver.
Yeah, there's like a ring of cake around his neck.
And for some reason, we're going to get this guy that keeps showing up in the movie is like some sort of man with a trucker hat who was apparently at this wedding, but
Judah
he was
Freelander's dad.
Oh, the McGaw friend, the McGaw guy.
He's in a Hawaiian tropic hat. The
yeah.
guy with the red.
Oh, it looked like a Trump hat.
It looked like a MAGA hat. Yeah.
He's laying in this. He's in the pool on a float, fully clothed,
We'll just call him Trump guy.
during a wedding.
I love that guy was in the movie so much.
This is one guy you never thought you would see again. But he crashes in, and you just hear this guy over. Like, you see a shot of him walking out, and you just hear this guy, and he's like, I was just laying in the pool, and this guy ran through the thing, and he tells us what just happened. And then we just cut to Jack Enhoff's office, and we're just never going to talk about that wedding again.
No.
Except for Jack goes like, hey, you sure know how to make an entrance. Entrance.
That last scene sure didn't make any sense.
He goes, did I just, what the fuck?
While the damp jock guy sits in front of him.
And then he's just, the bro guy's talking to him about, with his partner Cupcake. So he has this other guy named Cupcake.
Cupcake's my favorite guy in this movie.
Yeah. He's a real Massacre Mafia style type character, this guy. And then Jack tells him, he goes, this is my show. And he puts the real mob rules on this situation. Is he's like, no, I got these other girls who are going to wrestle and beat yours, but I'll still give you like $5,000 or something.
Before he gets to that, he also says that if you mess with me, you might end up at the bottom of Hoover Dam, in which Cupcake adds on the end of that tags without his scuba gear. And I wanted to turn and go, he gets it, Cupcake.
Yeah.
Like, I think he understood what I meant by that.
This wasn't the part where he does the $5,000.
No, that's
Okay,
later.
okay.
Okay. This is just him saying, he says, I like this kid, Cupcake, because he says, you're not going to worry about me.
So at this part, it just makes no sense.
I have no idea what was going on.
I'm like,
It's just,
Not at all.
It's just like, yeah, you're in. Your team is going to get to wrestle, but don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Is all that scene
he's
is.
like,
And he's like, cool, I didn't
But
come here to fuck with you.
There was no reason to fly in.
At all.
Yeah,
At all.
No.
Well, because they were concerned that the Nevada Nasties were going to get there first.
It doesn't.
And then
it's like-
they're already the only other team.
Yeah, so did they just think it was just going to be one team wrestling? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck did they think was going on? Like, they were just going to be, hey, we just roll around in some mud and we win $100,000.
Hey, it worked at the sorority house. Hey, we just roll around in some pudding and everybody's cool.
You know, this seems so easy back home.
Guy gave me
All I'm
80
saying
bucks
is
just
we
to pull on
got this far into this movie. Would you prefer this style movie or like Dodgeball? Because Dodgeball tried to do like, set up a story, build characters, or you can just have naked girls.
Well, I'll tell you
wrestling.
this, Hughes. I was just baffled at most of this movie. Like, I tell you honestly, I didn't know what was coming next.
There was no way.
I mean, I was
bobbing
genuinely
and weaving,
surprised.
you know.
I've never been so surprised on a Ben movie. Really, it's like every scene. I'm like, well, I didn't expect to see that.
It was like written on like some spots. It was like written on the spot in many occasions. For the
Oh,
next
for
thing is
sure.
gonna be,
Written-
yeah.
Oh wait, no, wait. Just do that one instead. Let's take another take. Perfect.
Yeah.
Print it. So we go Night on the Strip. Yeah, this seemed like a movie they just brought the. All right, guys, let's just bring the camera to Vegas for a weekend, see what we get. You know, see what we get. We'll go film that mud wrestling competition. We'll just kind of base it around that.
The singer, she wants to be a star.
we'll just bring a film camera and a backpack. Just kind of let it roll. So we go to Night on the Strip. Somehow the bus got fixed because Mugsy's all driving them down the strip.
Yeah, Muggsy's driving him.
Is what I think.
Yeah,
because
I
we
thought
then
the tow truck driver was.
We then find out that a man towed them all the way there.
And he kisses two of these sorority girls goodbye. They're in the cab with him.
Yeah.
There's an implication that something happened.
Oh, the implication.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And they've all done a shitload of drugs, even the rabbit.
Ate every brownie.
And then the bro guy comes out and he's all mad. He's like, "What? You weren't there, and the tow truck was there." It's like, guy, they're already here. Shut the fuck up.
And you're high.
And
you're not taking this seriously, says the guy who crashed a hang glider into a cake.
And then, well, so Lane and Mugsy come out stumbling, and at first I was like, did they just?
Did Mugsy add another notch to her belt?
Yeah, did Lane just fuck Mugsy? I'm like, my God, she struck again.
I hope he used a condom.
Ain't nothing wrong with Muggs. That lady's got style.
Because he's like, he stumbles out. He's like, oh. And then Mugsy, I think, dies. Like, I think Ruth just died on the bro guy because she just looks at him and goes, hey. And then like Hatchet in Psychomania just swan dives off the bus into the
Smiling.
arms. Like her eyes roll back in her head and she's done.
She died doing what she loved.
Call the ambulance. Wait, actually, maybe we can get out of paying her. We missed you, Ruth. Do you think they gave her a real Viking funeral at the end? Like just
like feeding her a pyre on a raft.
They put her in a van and blew it up.
Yeah. You think that's why maybe the van blew up at the end of this movie?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Along with the master tapes for this movie.
Yeah. You think that's why that van pulling up made no sense? So we just go to this casino, and they're wheeling Lane around on a luggage cart like a bunch of fucking animals.
Yeah, like, I don't know how lax security was at casinos in the 80s, but I feel like they get thrown the fuck out if they came in like that.
By the way, no lights. There's no lights. Like, this is the worst lit scene I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's like they had somebody sitting at a slot machine going like, with the Bolex going, rolling it, and they're like, yeah, rolling past, go. Don't look at it, bitch. Go. They're just telling people, don't walk in the shot. Like,
all I was thinking of when they're running through this hotel was like, act like you've been here before.
Yeah. Look, the rules around here, mob rules with Vegas, just pretend like you know what you're doing.
I said the same thing when I was watching those Peeper guys. I was like, man, act like you've been there before. Come on.
How do you think I got this job? I just pretended like I knew what I was doing. All of a sudden, I'm the head of Vestron Video. I actually just walked in one day and said, hello, Mr. Vestron's here. And they just believed me. So now I am where I am, son.
Now, this whole montage of sorts is supposed to be their drug-induced bender that they're all going on. Like, it's getting real fucking turnt. And we show clips of them playing video poker and getting ice cream.
Yeah, they're not.
That's
doing
real wild.
But by the way, this is the only time you'll see Jack out of his office.
Yeah,
is he's just standing on a balcony and he just goes, a bunch of losers. That's it. He's like, is that good enough for you? Cut. I'm done. Thank you for my one day. Where is my check? Oh no, I don't think he wanted a check. Give Mr. Inhofe his check.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at some point in here is when we do have that scene where he asks them to take a dive.
Yeah, the bro. Oh, is that the part?
Not yet.
We go. This is the where the bro guy goes and he goes like he's mad at the girls because they're getting high and some girl won't leave the slots and some girl's being a slut. And
I write he's taking mud wrestling way too seriously. It's mud wrestling. It's not a real sport. Like, this is just ladies rolling around in mud, guy. What the fuck? He's like, you got to train for what?
I wrote this, a question in this is, at this time, do they think wrestling's still rell?
Well, there is that part.
We're speaking historically?
Well, yeah, historically they still do too, but yeah.
Some parts of America.
This is mud wrestling.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, there's
women.
There's no storylines. There's
like,
no, you know.
Yeah. What?
It's just girls in bikinis getting in the mud.
Basically, yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
By the way, how is that still a thing?
What, mud wrestling? I can't even believe it was a real thing.
How was that ever a thing? But there are some places where people are still doing that shit.
We have brought this up before on the bin, and
yes.
we're like,
and our good friend who donated a movie to us and also donated to this podcast sent me that entry from Atlas Obscura, or his Encyclopedia of Obscure Things, that it was a real thing.
Yeah.
And was huge for a while. Yeah. But I don't understand how this guy is taking it so fucking seriously. It was never considered a real sport. He's like, you gotta train, you gotta do this. It's like, well, then maybe you shouldn't have hired a bunch of sorority girls to do it. Maybe you should have like went and found Olympians or some shit.
Yeah.
And been like,
it's like a dude getting all whiplash about a wet T-shirt contest.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you gotta train. You gotta get that shirt extra tight, and you gotta
your
dance
nipples
right.
aren't even hard.
How are we gonna win the competition?
Get back in there and do it again.
We're not leaving until you get it right.
It's like, what the fuck, man? There's honestly more talent in pole dancing than there is in being a mud wrestler. There's literally
now we're gonna lose our mud wrestling audience.
There's no talent involved.
Like, how dare they?
Yeah,
I like to see that though. Pole dancing versus mud wrestling.
We're gonna start.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we're gonna start a bar for just that. It's called the Muddy Pole.
You can only enter from the back.
Mud polars.
I mean, mud wrestling to me
the
is
Mud
just,
Polar Express.
This is just the stupidest thing of all time. Like,
it's a low point in humanity.
Fucking invention of all time. It's like somebody at one point said, "Why don't we just fill a kiddie pool full of shit from the backyard and get some ladies to wrestle in it?"
No, that's the thing I never understood about it either. Is because obviously no one's watching it to see who wins the wrestling match, but it's also not sexy.
I just don't
Not
get
at
it.
all.
I don't get it. I'm not into it.
Not to me.
Well,
sorry.
when we actually get to the competition, nobody cares about the wrestling. They're just going like, "Woo!"
It's all about the entrances, just like real wrestling.
It's just nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I'm about to dive across this table, Hughes. How dare you?
Well, Monica gets an argument with him because she's like, all right, well, we agreed to do your little... We thought we were just going to have a fun weekend in Vegas. If we win the money, great. But, I mean, we didn't expect anything. But at the same time, you didn't tell us we were going to have to, like, wrestle a bunch of, quote, Queen Kongs. we just cut to Blossom and Mystery Girl, which this is when I write, some other girl I honestly didn't know existed. I've been thinking they were the same person. They sneak out of the room to have fun, and I go, why would they need to sneak out?
Who's policing this?
Because they sneak out, and then they'll go to the casino, and everybody else is there.
And this is also when Teacup gets away.
Yeah, so the rabbit sneaks, like he sneaks into like a food.
Yeah, waiter's cart or something.
Yeah.
But the drunk guy from the pool, the Hawaiian Tropic Man, sees it, and he thinks it's a cat.
The Trump supporter.
Yeah, and he's like,
Kitty, 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 kitty.
and then the waiter just takes him away, and we won't see the bunny for another like half hour.
He's off on his own adventure.
It's like, animal union rights. They got
him and Charles Bronson. They're like, I think by 8 hours.
So we go into the casino, and then, Blossom and the Mystery Girl are gambling. Jackie has arrived, and they're screaming at a blackjack dealer, which is not a good idea.
Like, they don't know how to count to 21. She's pissed.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you, I want to win. And it's like, that's not how it works. And he's trying to explain to her, like, he's all calm, almost like, is somebody filming me? What the fuck is going on?
It's a legit blackjack dealer.
Because he's like, he goes, no, I'm sorry, miss, you have to get to 21. She's like, fuck you, I want money. And he's like this close from calling the pit boss over and being like, we got a problem over here. She's like grabbing this guy by the collar and shit. It's like, you can't do that in a casino.
Is she the same character that also like elbows a craps guy in the sternum at one point? Because that happens in here too.
I believe.
We're at the craps table, and when they lose, she's like, wham! Gives him a quick elbow right in the chest.
It's like they don't understand.
You can't hit the guy.
Like they don't understand the idea of gambling. Like that you can lose. They're like, I want to win. And when they don't win in cards, watch out.
Oh man, we'll get to that.
They think gambling is like a cash cage to them. You just go in, you just get as much as you can.
Speaking of cash cage,
yeah.
At one point they go into a place where there is a cash cage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when the fuck was this in a casino, and how does that work?
Well, they do it at the county fair.
Yeah, they still have them in some casinos.
I've been in one of those.
Especially like the.
How do you get in the cash cage? You got to pay.
Yeah, there's like you pay an admission fee, and then you go in there for a minute, and you catch whatever you can catch.
So it's like I pay $20 and try to get more than.
You try to catch more than $20 while you're in there, and you don't.
I think they have them in like Louisiana, Florida.
Yeah, like
Tennessee.
I said, it's mostly like it's casinos in the Midwest and South, and then like the county fair will wheel one out periodically. At the OC Fair, I did one.
Isn't the whole thing just get a nice little sticky stomach?
Yeah,
lift
sticky
the shirt
with
up
Mickey.
You get the old fly paper under the shirt and lift it up.
No, if you're at the county fair, just go get some syrup, like a funnel cake or something, rub it on yourself, and then start sticking all this money onto you.
Man, I was doing that anyway. I never thought to combine those things.
Okay, here's the other thing that now this is when I got really fucking pissed at this movie, Hughes. Is that some fucking old
fuck you, Hughes.
some old creep pervert?
Oh, my favorite, Morty
walks up and he goes, "Hey there, I'm writing an article for the paper."
Dickie.
And I go, "What paper? What paper
What,
would
the Vegas Bee?
A newspaper.
What paper would be writing about a fucking mud wrestling fight in a casino?"
Yeah, one of the free ones you can get on the street in Vegas.
And he goes, yeah.
He's writing for one of those papers.
Because he's like, I want to interview the girls, and, get a profile on their background. I think it's really interesting. And Mugsy's the only one who gets it. She looks at him and she's like, this guy writes for a pervert magazine. Like,
this rag.
She's like, this guy's not a real guy. But whatever, you can hang out with us.
You can't put one over on Mugs.
It's only because she fucked that guy 30, 40 years ago.
And she goes, and by the way, you might be able to end the movie with us. You might come with us back home.
It is possible.
We'll find out.
You'll get yours. Oldest ride, longest line.
Then we just get stolen footage of the girls. We get stolen footage of the girls on the Vegas Strip.
They're chanting.
And you notice, by the way, the camera is so low.
Oh, my God.
The camera's being held at, like, duffel bag height. Some guy, like, kind of just pointed upwards, and they're just running around, and we're getting a lot of shots of chins. And, like, there's so much fucking headroom.
Yeah, it's awful.
They obviously just stole the shit out of this. Mob rules.
Mm-hmm.
You do whatever the fuck you want in Vegas.
Absolutely.
Try and stop me. And they just kind of film this for a while, and then they like go into a casino that looks like, again, they weren't allowed to. And she's in the cash cage, and then they're like, all right, run, we got enough. Cut to Jack's office, and he's talking to the bro guy. This is when he basically says, like, you're not going to win. I'll give you $5,000 as a consolation prize, and they should take that money and bet it on the Nevada Nasties at 3-1. And I'm like, again, who's taking odds on a fucking mud wrestling match?
And also, he's already noticed that, as in his own words, these are losers.
Yeah.
They have no chance of winning. Why is he, like, trying to pay them off to lose anyway?
This is the stupidest fucking thing.
They're gonna get their asses
should
kicked.
say that the Nevada Nasties blow the competition.
Right.
Because the bet is 3-1. So he could bet against his own thing and win a shitload of money.
This guy who presents
makes
himself
no
to run part of Vegas doesn't know how betting odds work.
No,
he's
not at
like,
all.
They've got a betting line at 3-1. You should take the money I'm going to give you and bet it against your team.
What the hell? Get your Laughlin shit out of here.
So the Nevada Nasties are 3-1. What is the other girls, like 100-1?
They don't even accept those bets.
This is what I'm saying. He
They
should
just tell you to leave. It's like getting cut off at the bar.
He should throw it the other way.
In good conscience, they won't let you make that bet.
And so then there's lines being set. There's magazine coverage. I know. I mean, I know Vegas doesn't have much going on, but come on. I mean, come on.
I think Cupcake should have leaned in and been like, "Sir, this doesn't make any sense." Cupcake, not now.
And then he looks at him and he jacks as the bro. He's like, wrestling's fixed, right? And I'm just like,
absolutely.
again, but this is mud wrestling. This isn't like Vince McMahon.
Well, it gets a little Vince McMahon later.
I actually think this is actually like their version of Vince McMahon wrestling for women.
And to be fair, Vicky Guerrero's farewell match was a mud wrestling match.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm just saying, it does happen from time to time.
Was
They're saying
jacking off there?
It's in canon.
Jacking off there?
I wasn't, but you know.
So we go back to the motel room. The bro guy has told them the plan, and then Lane and the nerd Velma are like, "Well, that sounds great. We can just win $15,000. Go ahead, bet the $5,000 on us.
Solid. Let's do it.
Let's just do it." And then Mugsy and the other girls are like, "No, we should try because why not? Because this is actually a good plan." They go, "You know what? We're gonna get our ass kicked anyways. Let's still bet that money against us." And then if we win, we'll just win $100,000. So either way,
we're good.
Come out on top.
And I like that during this, Mugsy seems to not even understand why they're in Vegas or what they're doing, because her line is actually,
Let's go for it, whatever it is.
She's like, "Yeah, I have no idea where I am."
yeah, she's still out of her mind.
I thought I was dead.
I died 3 scenes ago.
And I write, this is the first smart thing that's been said in this movie.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Go to a training montage, which makes no fucking sense. Mugsy is now like with a mini,
She was an army drill sergeant.
some sort
Yeah.
of mini bullhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's got like a matching jumpsuit now, and they're doing
Lane's-
basic aerobics.
Lane is dressed like a Weeblo. Like he's dressed like a Boy Scout. I don't fucking understand it.
Why did he bring that out?
And I write, what is this guy's story? And then I start to wonder, I'm like, oh no. Is he a child? Like,
So like Benjamin Buttons
Oh,
or
man.
like Jack.
That's
It's like Jack.
headcanon accepted.
I was like, oh no, oh no. Is this just like the guy's like special brother that he brings along and stuff? Like, is this a real like Mice and Men story?
It felt like it.
Lane, I'm gonna have to shoot you.
Like, is at some point Lane gonna snap Velma's neck?
tell me about
Oh,
tell me again about the stoned rabbit.
Oh, that fucking thing.
rabbit. She had pretty hair. Just
a forlorn Gary Sinise shows up.
Lane, you killed every girl on the bus. I gotta put you in this thing and I gotta blow up that van. And then, okay, for no reason at all, the Dirty Magazine reporter is being forced to work out with them. Like, he's got a tracksuit on and he's doing the jumping jacks, and he like even looks at Mugsy and he's all like, I don't think I should be doing this. And she's like, shut the fuck up.
Look, if you want to get in this, I like my men fit and young. You're going to need to work on your stamina.
So Mugsy is making them now run down the strip while she rides in a luggage cart, who I swear is driven by the taxi driver for the beginning of this movie. It looks like the same man. And then she's yelling at them through that old-timey tube megaphone. And then the mystery girl has her first pair of nunchucks that we've never seen before. And then I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but the guy in the cart almost kills a man.
Yeah.
When they run over everybody?
Yeah. He like kills a valet. I was
Basically,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck is going on? And then he almost runs into a car, and Mugsy at the same time keeps going, sexy, sexy, sexy. And
And she called some dude a lesbian.
I'm like, this is sensory overload for me. I feel like I was in the time tunnel, you know, in 2001. I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I'm starting to think this movie is from Teacup's perspective.
It might be.
Like this whole film is like
Yeah.
I wanted that at the very end. We just flashed to Teacup's eye again, and we're still at that party.
That's funny because that reminds me of that in Alien, the Jonesy the cat. That's supposed to be like Ridley Scott's perspective.
Yeah.
Is allegedly. So I feel like this is like the director's like, this is what I see.
I feel like as you're traveling through that time tunnel to the White Room
Yeah.
to see the Jupiter Baby, Mugsy Girls would play in that.
You just hear that music, Mugsy's girls,
and you're just like
echoing through the tunnel.
No, but like another flash from your face, like
when you come back and you see Dave's face and he's like,
Yeah.
he's taking in all of Mugsy's Girls all in 20 seconds. no, stop it. It's like where cinema and the world ended was Mugsy's Girls. It just implodes on itself.
Yeah.
First we go to a hotel room and the girls are trading, and then they're sticking a needle in Velma's ass for some reason, and I don't know.
B12 or steroids or something.
And then we go to Jack's office, and he tells Cupcake to put the fix in and make sure the sorority girls don't win, or the boys back east will be pissed. And I'm writing, this goes all the way to the top, apparently.
This one wrestling tournament makes their year.
Like, when is Mimi going to show up? When is there going to be a bread that's baked? You know, that mud wrestling competition didn't go how we thought it would. But you know what? We thought, why don't we break some bread, huh? Yeah. Jolly and I brought you a bread. It's a little tradition we do here in Italy, huh? So after all this, then all of a sudden, that rabbit, who hasn't appeared in like 20 minutes, it squeaks and then, as I write, leaps over the desk and runs out of the room.
It got stepped on by the promoter guy.
And Cupcake, by the way, pulls a gun on it.
We're getting the big Cupcake versus Teacup showdown.
Like, it's obviously a rodent or something, and he just goes like, where is it? And like pulls out this gun like he's gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
And then jacking off says, what the hell was that? And then the other guy goes, a jackrabbit. Oh no, I'm sorry. Cupcake goes, what the hell was that? And Jack goes, a jackrabbit. And then Jack eats one of its shits.
Yeah, like it was like a fucking bowl of nuts or something.
It's like, what the fuck? What did you think that was?
Capers?
Well,
Yeah.
he does have a bowl of Reese's Pieces on his desk.
Oh.
this whole time.
Is that what he thought
He's
it
like,
was?
It looked like
Oh.
he had a shelled one he found.
God.
Wait, I assume that's what the setup was.
Yeah,
You
I
don't show a
guess
gun
so.
without shooting it.
And then like the last line of this is something about an enforcer.
Oh, okay, so we had
Call
this
the enforcer.
ADR line, okay, because obviously they forgot to fucking mention this
The
guy.
point of this scene.
The most useless fucking character.
Oh yeah.
Also the most amazing
The
character
greatest
in this
character
movie.
in this.
And we see the way he's introduced as an ADR line of Jack looking at Cupcake. Cupcake has no reaction. It was just before a scene started, they used this footage. He goes, Dookie, our enforcer, better get here quick. And I write, for the scene heading of the next one, I can't even begin to explain the car that pulls up.
Oh, I can explain this.
Please
You
do.
ever seen the General Lee, the
Boss Hog.
Boss
This is
Hog's
Boss
car.
Hog's car.
Or to tie it into pro wrestling, when JBL had his title run, he came in one of these cars. With the big steer horns on the front.
When Chris and I did our own web series a long time ago that never got released,
God,
The
yeah.
Ballad of J.R. Lamar, this is the car we had envisioned him driving with the steer horns. I wrote it down, okay. A white Cadillac convertible with apparently 16 coats of lacquer paint on it, steer horns on the front, but then also 2 hood ornaments. Did you notice this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 hood ornaments, but in the middle of the hood.
It's like he went to a statue place.
Like he put like an Emmy on his car. Like it has the steer horns, but then he was also like, but I also need
Yeah.
2 other, like I need my Emmys on the
Well, you know,
front.
Vegas has a lot of gambling problems. Somebody pawned their primetime Emmy and their Tony Award.
Yeah, this was Ruth's Emmy. Like,
Yeah, no question.
Her Emmy and her Oscar glued. Ruth, can we borrow that Oscar?
And they just
You're
hot
not using
glued
it.
to this car.
You're not. You bought it in 1969. You haven't been using it for 20 years.
This fucking car rolls up, and I thought we were doing a Death Race 2000 crossover.
It made no sense. Also, suede beige interior.
Oh, it's
Like,
nice.
Oh, beautiful.
This is just. If it rained, it would be a bad fucking day in this car. Like,
It doesn't rain in the desert.
hopefully that top was
Look,
up.
a worse fucking day. This is Dookie's car.
And the guy who pulls up,
Leisure Suit Ted Cruz.
yeah.
Talking like the honky tonk man.
I don't understand how to explain this guy. It's like I don't know how to explain him other than like a crackhead man, like a guy who's extremely coked out, forgot to button his shirt, and also put on a blazer because there's a bunch of stains on that Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
And then he pulls up to the valet and he goes, "Dookie is here."
He said, like, tell all the women in town that Dookie's back.
And I write, if this guy is the, quote, enforcer, they are in trouble. He's a 5'6" guy on coke weighing 90 pounds.
Yeah, like, what is he enforcing? There's never been a more aptly named enforcer
Is he like
than
packing?
Dookie.
Like if he's got like 3 guns on him, maybe, and you know.
Where?
Well,
this guy's like,
he's got one taped to his thigh.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. This guy's got the frame of a skeleton. Like,
it's really bad.
He does look like he's wearing his big boy clothes. Like,
he looks like the last days of an Elvis impersonator, like one that's dying in Vegas.
Like this guy, he typically shops in the children's section, but he went for a men's small today, and like this is as well as it fits him. Baggy as all hell. He goes into we go to the casino bar in another one of the most useless things I've ever seen.
This is terrible scene. Terrible scene.
The bro guy and Monica have a boring conversation about the plot that nobody could fucking care less about, and then they have a very superficial moment where we're going to set up some sort of love relationship between them that will never develop.
No, you care about me. I care about you. Next scene.
Yeah, thank you. That was Laura's real piece. She's like, I need one scene in this movie to be serious.
I need to show depth.
like Raw Force had a more thought out love story.
Yeah. The lady in Raw Force who.
Hazel.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we go to the bus, right? Velma and Lane are making out, and it's shaking all over the place. And apparently they've just parked the bus like in the valet of the hotel.
Yeah, we're just double parked outside a casino right now.
And then she brings out a vibrator that she says she got from
a mail order catalog.
He takes it out and he goes, "Oh boy, a rocket ship!" And then he starts flying around the bus.
Didn't tell me you were in the model rocketry.
I wrote, "Do you think this is why he's still wearing that Boy Scout uniform?" I'm starting to wonder what his story is.
Yeah. It's like the movie Jack, where he's just he ages 7 years for every year.
God. And then we go back to the casino, and the girls gamble, and Dookie arrives.
Oh yeah!
And while he arrives, by the way, he's like William H. Macy, like he's the cooler. Because they lose all their money as soon as he walks up to the table.
That's where we get the elbow to the sternum on the crap stealer.
Yeah, and then Tomboy. Okay, so she does notice his bulge in his pants because I couldn't understand because it wasn't reading on the camera because his clothes are so fucking baggy.
No, it definitely wasn't.
That she looks at his crotch, but he also has a bunch of rings on his fingers, and I'm like, I couldn't understand if she liked his rings or his bulge. I'm not sure, is what I write. And then Dookie basically comes up and he's like, "Hey, girl, give you whatever you need, you know? We'll go up to my room, I got drugs,
he says
I got
he's
money."
a talent agent, and he slips a card down the cleavage of one of the girls while he says that.
And I just write, "Uh-huh."
Sure.
Like, these guys are a dime a dozen in Vegas, but they buy it.
Well, at first they're a little resistant until he says he has weed.
Yeah, he's
exactly.
Like,
and then Magic's in.
Well, Magic was in, but she was like, "Wait, I'm also looking for my rabbit."
Yeah.
He's like, "Rabbits? I got plenty of them. Come upstairs. You'll be seeing a rabbit. Don't worry." And they go to his hotel room, and the girls are playing Dookie in strip poker or something, is what I write, because I don't really know what the fuck's going on.
It's never clearly stated. They're just playing some kind of card game. Everyone's stripped down to their skivs.
But guys, it's said at one point that he's a good poker player.
Yeah.
And Mr. Crown's laughing his tits off. This movie was made strictly for Mr. Crown.
Only quality here at Vestron. So Blossom then smokes a joint. So Magic smokes a joint in the bathroom. Then she throws her match in a trash can, and the rabbit pops out, and then the trash can's still on fire.
This poor rabbit. The animal abuse is really...
This rabbit was on fire.
Yeah, they set a rabbit on fire for a second.
That trash can fire will go nowhere.
No.
Oh, it leads to the magic cards.
Yeah.
Also,
when she pulls the
Oh,
package
yeah,
of cards
yeah,
out
yeah.
and finds out he's using trick cards.
Yeah.
it just seems like the end of this movie, they cut out so much shit because it's like, we don't got time for backstories, all right? We can't watch that rabbit wander around through the hotel for 20 minutes and then find his way to that room.
We got a reel of just
cut
the
it the
rabbit's
fuck
adventures.
out. Cut it out. It doesn't make any sense, sir.
Well, if you want to watch that movie, go watch The Witch.
It doesn't make
Or
any
witches.
sense, sir.
Witches.
Makes
The Witch
no
is about a
sense.
goat.
He's like, I don't care if it doesn't make any sense. By this point in time, the man is putting his dick back in the pants. He doesn't give a shit about what happened to that rabbit, okay? He wants to get to the girls. Just give me some of that mud, right? That's why we're here. And then so Magic finds an empty case of magic cards. And she comes out and she tells the girls and Mr. Boom Mike about this scam.
Grindbin All-Star, Mr. Boom.
He makes his appearance, just slightly dips into the frame.
Just the
Not
tip.
so offensive. He just wants us to know, I'm still there, boys.
It's comforting.
I'm still there. I'm sure in the Blu-ray widescreen version,
Oh,
Vestron
God, yes.
puts out that Blu-ray.
Yeah.
we will be editing that out. In the remastered version of Mugsy's Girls, which we're going to rename Delta Pi.
And the tagline, have yourself a slice.
So then I put Driving Crazy.
Yeah, we cut to him bound and gagged in the back of his own car while they try to run down pedestrians.
And a cop.
And a blind guy.
Yeah, they straight up, I thought we were going to go full Toxic Avenger here. And they're going to run over a kid on a bicycle.
Because as I write, okay, so they run through some trash and destroy the entire side of this car, which I'm sure was not intentional.
Oh, no, not at all.
Because they must have been like, oh, fuck, that's a rental. Like,
mob rules.
Please tell me you got the insurance, or we're just going to have to drop that off at Mr. Avis and make a run for it.
Walk away.
I don't live in this state. Goodbye.
And the thing about this cop is that we have the whole scene where he's worried for his life for a second, and then they just come, screeching around like the General Lee, and he doesn't give chase.
No, he
doesn't.
He gets behind a pole and
He hides
just
from it for a second, then watches them leave.
Yeah,
well, that was something.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Well, I say it doesn't look like the mob, so he doesn't want to do anything about it. Or
Well, all right.
Maybe he knows Dookie the Enforcer.
That's true.
Mob rules, baby.
Mob rules.
Then we go in the desert. They're swerving around the highway, and they run the car off a huge jump.
And they're chanting too.
They're doing their dumbass Hell
da,
Squad
da.
chant.
Yeah, we the girls from Delta Pi, we don't take shit from any guy.
No, they don't. They literally destroy the car.
The jump comes out of nowhere, and I thought we were doing a Thelma and Louise.
I thought they were
I
going
was like,
off
did
a
they
cliff.
just go off a did we just kill half the cast? They were like, oh, fuck it.
I also thought they were going off a cliff.
Yeah.
It looked to me
Oh,
like...
I thought so too.
Oh,
we
boy.
all were all in agreement
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked like that was it.
I hovered the thing over the time. I'm like, oh, there's 20 minutes left. I wonder what's...
It's 20 minutes of in memoriam.
A weird...
Are we just going to follow Mugsy for the
We're just going to cut to Mugsy giving a eulogy for her girls.
They died as they lived.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd outlive any of them. What a day.
Instead, they run this car into some sort of trailer whorehouse.
I had that written down too, Trailer Park Brothel.
Because it's called
And they rear end one of the trailers.
It's called the Stallion Ranch, and they just run into a trailer where a man and his hooker come running out. They want to see what the commotion's about.
Now, would you go to a whore house called the Stallion Ranch? That doesn't sound like a place that I'd want to go.
I don't think I...
Yeah.
Like the Stallion
I'm not looking
Galleon.
for stallions.
So I thought it said Stallone Ranch.
I'm there.
It's
Party
Frank
at Kitty and Stubbs.
Yeah.
It's Frank Stallone's ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Come on.
You got to take everything from me, Sylvester, but you'll never take my whorehouse. And so they run in this trailer whorehouse, and then they take him out. They take Dookie out of the car, pull down his pants, find out he has a zucchini taped to his legs, and then they put him up a flagpole. And I write, this is a really harsh punishment over a few fake cards. Like, they've almost murdered a man. They've destroyed his car.
How'd they know where this fucking whorehouse was?
I think they just saw it while they were joyriding. We're like, there we go.
Yeah, they're like, there's a flagpole. And so then they do have a great shot of this one guy, this one like random extra with two hookers, and they're just doing this smile like,
Is that the same guy who goes like, I got $20 left?
No, that's the guy who, when they hit the trailer, he comes rolling out. When they come out to check the commotion, he's like, hey, wait a minute.
that was Mr. Crown. No, honey. No.
I paid the full 20.
So my question is, how do you value a sex act? Like, is there fractions that you have to pay?
I don't know.
Or they like if it ends in the like 3/4 the way? How do you figure out if it's 3/4?
I don't think it's timed.
Like Hughes is thinking like if you finish early, you're like, well, I get a refund on that extra time, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to pay
It's
for
a
it all?
race, right?
Does this?
It's like when you cancel your cable bill.
It's like rollover minutes on a phone bill.
Yeah.
He's like, so next time I get an extra
You
15.
got me on the next time.
Yeah, I think you should try that.
I bet you're smooth. You're a smooth talker, Hughes. I bet you can make
I'm
that
sure
work.
that's how it works at whorehouses, Hughes. I'm sure if you
You get a credit.
you know, they kind of forgive you if you go a little over, if you go a little under, you know.
Like, I only want half a song. Is that $10?
And I've heard quote, heard from friends that have been to the red light district that, if you don't, quote, finish, they either give you your money back or you can try another girl.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That is accommodating.
I thought it would have been more like they're just looking at the watch the whole time and they're like 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, all right. Well, sorry, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And they just let you out.
That's not how you stay in business, Mike.
Do you think there's?
You want return customers.
Do you think there's some sort of timer? Like it was like, like the end of a hockey game or something?
Pop goes perfection.
They just flip you over and milk you.
It's like the end of a shot clock, the basketball.
Timer's going.
There's also dudes behind her waving noodles.
Yeah, the ref comes out and he's gonna tell. He's like, nope, you're done.
Oh, there's a home and visitor score.
Well, then the halftime show comes out and
It's
Ken Play comes out and performs for the halftime show.
The tap dancing clown with the broom.
Mm-hmm. Steve Ballmer's yelling at you.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to go to this whorehouse now.
Finish. Do you think you get encouragement? Like some guy's running in, he's like, come on, close. Yeah.
You got this.
He's got a clipboard.
Yeah. Can I get in a? Can I? It's like a boxing match.
Yeah, you got a brothel corner man.
Yeah. He's like, you need a cut. Okay, cut your eye.
Is that dude from Punch Out? It's like
he's rubbing your shoulder. He's like, you got this, buddy. You got this. Go fuck that girl. Go fuck her.
now when she wiggles her eyebrow, that's when you got to get her from the side.
So we go to the mud wrestling competition.
This is where this movie lost it. It has no meaning anymore.
This is where the movie
they just decided to end it.
Because this is where the bro guy and Lane come out in drag.
We're
right?
doing bosom buddies now.
I don't know why.
Well,
You know what, guys?
there's a little bit of dialogue where they get into that. Where
Okay.
they're worried about the mobster guys seeing them, so they're here incognito.
The mobsters don't know they're gonna throw this thing. It makes no sense. You're right. It's like they pulled a bosom buddy for no reason.
Because wouldn't it be funny to see two guys in drag?
Yeah, they're like, dress them up like women. Another cocktail napkin. Let's do it. I found this somewhere. I think this is another Hell Squad where he's like, you won't give me the last third of the script? Well, fuck you.
They're like, okay, we're going to get to the mud wrestling part, and we have the guy, the Trump supporter, that pinches the girl's ass. Oh, wait, it's a dude. Ha, ha, ha. And
that guy.
On to Mugsy complimenting their dresses, and now we get to some wrestling.
Yeah, like this, it makes no sense. They just gave up on the movie, and they're like, just put in all the mud wrestling footage, cut out all that shit. We don't need the story. Nobody cares why these men are dressed up like women. They will laugh.
Just move
They
with
will
it.
laugh.
Now, the Michael Buffer of this thing. This old man. I don't know if you guys noticed this too. He seems to have like a cable attaching his ass to the ceiling.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
I kept waiting for him to rise up into the rafters.
They needed to hold this man up like a puppet because he couldn't even stand anymore.
Did he come down from the ceiling to start the show?
One more job. Yeah, like they just lower him
He just
down.
descends.
He's up there all the time. Billy, it's time for the show. It's time
Send
for
him
the
in.
8 o'clock.
Hit the switch, drop him down.
And
like a sandbag hitting the ground.
The girls are getting ready in the dressing room. The bus bros come dressed as women. All right, but why, Hughes?
Sure.
You're right. Tomboy wrestles first against Mauling Mama.
Oh, she's awesome.
And I write, Jack, the character who plays Jack, didn't even have the courtesy to show up to this last scene. He's watching it on a TV.
Here's the thing. It's televised?
That's what I wrote.
It's televised.
That's what I wrote. It's
we have a capacity crowd watching this
it's
shit.
televised. Hello and welcome to the Mud Wrestling Championship.
Now, if you notice that the music playing, you think just part of the film background, the film score to make the tension, go up. And we go back to Jack and Hoff's office. That music is still playing through the TV.
Yeah.
So this is not just like film background music. This is music going on through the actual Mud Wrestling match.
The opening theme of the show.
Yeah.
That's funny that you think it was televised. That was just they just played the movie to them and then recorded the scene.
Spaceballs the video. The hell am I watching?
They're just playing him the movie in his office. He's like, all right, Jack, no, we forgot to have you at the scene. Can you just kind of react to the movie?
Amazing. It's like the end of The Running Man when they show the footage of what really happened. And it's just the opening of the movie over again.
I could just imagine it's like, the Mud Wrestling Championships is brought to you by Pennzoil. They have full sponsors and everything.
Go, Pennzoil.
Yeah.
Bob Costas is there. He's giving some long-winded background. Mud wrestling started in the 1910s.
Is he in the Fortress of Solitude like it was during the Olympics?
Yeah. He's giving some long background. The
Greco-Roman mud wrestling
has a long and varied history. And then I go, why did they have an ad in that paper if this is televised?
Yeah.
You think it would be a bigger deal than just two random groups, like the only girls, literally the only women they could find to take part in $100,000 mud wrestling competition.
Was a sorority an entire state away.
Yeah, it was a sorority and a prison.
That they found a day before the competition.
So that means that they advertised this and they sold tickets
By the way,
to it.
in L.A.
Yeah.
They're,
Oh, God.
they're putting a classified ad in
LA.
L.A.
But
not
I'm saying,
Vegas.
To get an audience in Vegas and to get it televised, you set all this up in advance, had no teams.
No.
Nothing. That was the last thing you did was
Right.
get actual mud wrestlers for your mud wrestling
Like,
show.
couldn't they have just gone to the strip clubs in Vegas and been like, do you ladies want to just roll around in the mud instead of dancing on a pole?
That costs money, Mike.
Well, they would be like, how much does it pay? And you'd be like, no, you can win money. And they'll be like, whatever. Beats dancing on a pole for a night. You know? Beats dancing on a lap. But, what do I know? And then Tomboy gets her ass kicked while
Now-
this old pervert from the paper...
Oh, God. And before that fight even starts, he's got mud on his forehead.
Okay. I hate this guy so fucking much.
He's the worst.
He is standing with 5 different cameras around his neck, just like taking all these pictures. By the way, in the way. He's like walking around the ring and he's like, keep going, girls, keep going. Taking like flash photography. And it's like, if these guys in the audience are like, what the fuck is this guy doing on stage? Also, he'd be in the shot of everything.
Every shot.
It makes no... What is he here for? What paper do you work for, sir? Like, explain yourself. Who let him on stage?
I'm Dickie. I work for the Daily Tug.
Yeah, the Daily
I
Tug.
work for the paper. And they're just like, well, he sounds official. He's an old man. He's got all those cameras.
Now,
Oh my!
at this point too, I've accepted that we are to take mud wrestling seriously, and I got outraged at how loosey goosey they were with the rules.
Yeah, they say
Right?
you have to pin somebody, right?
Like, the first match ends. She's face down with no one on top of her. He counts 3.
I didn't understand.
And the wrestling
Yeah.
fan of me is like, that's bullshit. I'm getting into this now.
So she didn't pin her, right?
No, the Vegas screw job is in
Yeah,
effect.
We're gonna get a whole documentary about this.
Was this Tomboy Heart? Is that what you're saying?
the one time she kept her clothes on, she got fucked.
She's just laying face down on the mud. The guy goes, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, that's it. Call
And
it.
everybody seems to be okay with it.
Okay, so you can, as long as you're laying down, everyone's laying down.
Yeah.
I don't understand this.
Then Jackie is next, and she fights Cactus Kelly, the wrestling cowgirl.
I'm so glad you wrote all these names down.
All she does is just go out and then like kind of fart at the audience. Like that's what her intro.
Yeah, she flashes him with her ass, and then they
And
cut
it
to
makes a
Mugsy.
sound. She's just like, "Ugh." It's like, what the fuck?
Did you hear?
How is that a cowboy?
I don't know. Did you hear Mugsy's line on that?
No.
She called her like a gay lib, like the gay
Yeah,
lib movement.
yeah, she does.
What? So Mugsy, those goddamn liberals.
You know Mugsley's one of those.
And then,
These snowflakes.
and then this is the whole point of the guys being in the drag. I thought was they go. Some of the girls haven't shown up. I'm like, oh, we're gonna.
They're gonna get in there with
I'm like,
these.
the guys are gonna wrestle, and that never happens.
No. Also, we never learn really why one of the girls doesn't show up until the end of the movie when it's convenient.
Right.
But okay, so Jackie fights. The whole thing is played off so seriously, I write. None of the men in the audience seem interested in the fighting, though.
Oh no,
They're
not
just
at all.
more like, take it off. The pervert keeps taking pictures, and then I fucking lost it. This was another fuck you, Hughes. There's a judges table.
what?
3 judges. By the way, all drinking beers.
Sure.
They all have like Coors Lights
Yeah.
on their desk.
And they're not
It's the s-
commentating. I mean, what's...
They're writing shit down. I'm
Yeah,
like,
what are they writing?
What?
It's the same kind of judges table you see when you watch Toddlers and Tiaras. It's just 3 creepy perverts
But it's
sitting
like-
there drinking beers and writing down notes.
It's like it's a ref. Like it's 1, 2, 3. What are they judging?
Well,
like
what if it goes to a decision?
Yeah, is there any point
What
when
if
it goes to a
points?
decision? They're like, well, she got muddier.
This mud wrestling has a 30-minute time limit.
I'm like, judges for what? These guys, like, it pissed me off, Hughes. I was like, fuck you. They've got confused on, like, what they're actually doing here.
They have no idea what's going on. I'm not
Yeah.
sure the judges table even existed in this movie, or if it was just like found footage that they used.
They cut away from a different movie.
It just seems like in jocks when they couldn't understand what the sport of tennis actually entails, they're just like, have you ever been to a mud wrestle match? Do you know what did they actually do? What are the rules if a girl falls over?
Yes.
She loses. There's judges, right? There's judges involved. It's kind of like a beauty contest, I think.
Yeah, that's the talent round.
You know what? We don't want to leave anything out, so just put it all in. Nobody will question it then. The judges are then discussing, okay, so basically Jackie wins, right? Even though the ref won't count. Like, so the fix is in, he won't count, but then he eventually does.
He makes her go to like 6. You know, it's like she's holding her down for so long, you can't.
Yeah, she's like drowning her in the mud. And basically it's like, all right, fine, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, whatever.
And then the judges discuss something after the match, and I go, what? They're all writing down, they're like showing each other notes.
She got the mud on her.
They're all showing each other their notes, which they're writing in pencil, by the way.
They're just drawing boobs.
They're playing Keno, you asshole.
Yeah, they're waiting for the... These guys aren't even judges.
There's
they're
a screen above the mud wrestling
They're
match.
just waiting for the waitress to take their Keno card. Well, this is the weirdest game of Keno we've ever played, boys. So Blossom is next. She fights Fang, who I actually think is a werewolf woman.
It was pretty awesome. She looked like one of the Twilight people.
She shows up, yeah, looking like a werewolf.
It's real Dr. Moreau.
And then Blossom wins by tackling her outside the ring and pinning her.
Another spear to make Roman Reigns jealous.
Yeah.
But this is
But
like,
how do you pin her outside the ring? You know? You can't pin somebody outside. This is bullshit.
none of it makes any sense because now, like, the Vegas Nasties were played off as being some unbeatable super team. The sorority's up 2-1.
We're holding our own.
Monica fights a lady with a whip, which I'm like, I didn't know that was legal.
Foreign object. More bullshit.
We cut to a shot of two. Oh my god. I fucking lost it again, Hughes. This is where I was like, this is literally the worst thing I've ever seen. We are in the middle of a mud wrestling match, and then we cut to two jabronis pouring cement.
What was that?
Where was that gonna go? We cut to two guys pouring cement out of a mixer, and the one guy goes, "You put itching powder
in her,
in one of their broad swimsuits, right?"
That's why they were itching?
Yeah.
And then he goes...
It's such a throwaway line. My girlfriend had to tell me this, because I was like, why is she scratching herself? She's like, you didn't hear what the guys in the mixing thing were saying?
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I wrote, what the fuck? Who are these guys? Why was this put in the movie? Like, did they obviously just filmed this back at Vestron's office, and he was like, we got to explain why they're itching all the time.
They were legit dudes just pouring concrete outside.
Yeah, and he's like, hey.
Can you say a line real quick for me?
Would you mind saying this thing for a movie?
You fellas want to be in a movie?
It makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, like we cut away to like Microwave Massacre. They're hanging out on a construction site.
What the fuck is going on? And then Monica starts itching herself. The one lady whips her into the ring, starts beating her up. The pervert keeps walking around the ring now, and now he's like coaching her. He's going, watch it, girls. Watch it. Careful. I just write, shut the fuck up, guy. Who are you? Get out of the movie. Like, what the fuck
and
are you
fuck
doing
you,
here?
Hughes.
Then Monica loses. I write, the itching powder meant nothing.
No.
So why we cut to those two guys?
She valiantly overcame the itching powder.
But there's a bunch of girls that have itching powder for the rest of the movie.
You know what I'm thinking? I have a theory. It just popped into my head just now. These suits they made them wear, these bathing suits, were legitimately making the actresses itch. And they had to figure out a way to explain it. They're like, okay, they're blatantly scratching themselves.
Yeah.
They're getting a rash from these used costumes we're throwing on them.
Why are these broads itching?
Yeah.
Do you
He's like-
understand?
Yeah. And so we quickly shot a scene to explain it.
Good point.
You just see Mr. Why the fuck are they all itching themselves? What am I watching?
So that's what I thought with like the cement people. They were gonna like say, oh, when the wrestling's done and these guys don't go through with it, we're gonna encase them in cement and bury them in the desert. I had no idea what the point of the scene was.
You'll never see these men again.
Nope, and it's done.
They're the itching powder boys.
Then we go to Nunchuck's girl. Mystery girl comes out. She fights the quote dragon lady, which is a woman who swallows a flaming torch.
Okay, something happens here at the beginning of their wrestling match. The dragon lady blows fire straight into her face.
Yeah, like
sets
I thought
her
she
hair
was-
on fire.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
she just fucking did a fatality, like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. And then we cut to the next shot. She's fine.
Yeah, not even a
Shake it
singe
off,
on
kid.
her.
You just took fire to the face, and then still did a Roman Reigns spear.
Like, this was about as pointless as wasn't there that time when Hulk Hogan tried to shoot a fireball at like the Ultimate Warrior?
Halloween Havoc
Oh, really?
97, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Where the flash paper went off in his own face, and then he had to send his nephew out with a steel chair.
Go look at the clip on YouTube because it's so funny. It's just
It's
like,
pretty great.
Was that a fireball?
I think he threw a fireball at Warrior. Doesn't know what to do.
And the audience is just like, what the hell is going on? Have we just crossed into now wrestling's going to be supernatural? We can shoot fireballs at each other?
They were LARPing, man.
Well, to be fair, that
LARPing.
very same year is when Kane was literally shooting fireballs at the Undertaker.
That's true.
And Hulk Hogan's like, I want to do that.
Yeah, basically. He's like,
Hey, brother, I want to shoot a fireball.
I can do it even better, brother.
Jim Ross like, it's the black magic. Black magic.
Shango is returned.
Oh, Lord.
By God.
Like every time Kane would come out, he'd be like, "Ow!" every time the fire hits.
You know he's running for mayor right now?
Yeah.
Oh, Kane or Jim
Kane.
Ross?
Kane is running for mayor. I hope that if he doesn't win the mayorship, I hope he vows that if he loses, he's gonna set himself on fire.
Please tell me that before the debate, the lights go out.
Yeah. Fire
and you hear,
comes out.
Boom!
After every speech, he should raise his arms in the air and then throw them down real quick.
Yeah.
The lectern lights up.
How do you not vote for Kane?
And Jim Ross is the
Corporate
moderator.
Kane was the best.
Corporate Kane, yeah.
Did he
was
wear a
awesome.
blazer?
Yeah, actually, he wrestled in just like dress pants. It was just dad bod Kane with no mask, nothing. He's
Wow.
just Glenn Jacobs shirtless in a pair of like Cheetos.
With J&J security.
Oh, they were great.
Do you think that Jim Ross will be the moderator of that debate?
To be amazing.
Oh, yes, please.
Like
We're here.
Kane and fucking Booker T are gonna have a debate.
Mayor debate 2018. King, what do you think?
Puppies.
So then we see, we back to the movie. Okay, the fireball happens. And I write, I guess there are no rules at all because we've had a whip and some girl light another girl on fire. Then the pervert starts cheering for Mystery Girl. I write, shut the fuck up and take pictures, you old fucking lech. And then
All
I can't stand this guy. I'm like,
Mike's had enough.
Get the fuck out of the movie, guy. And then the Mystery Girl wins, okay? So again, Delta Pi,
We're doing good.
yeah.
yeah, not bad.
Muggsy's really excited.
Then
Mugsy's getting into it.
Then we see a shot of Mugsy cleaning the old pervert's face with a tissue, and she's keeping about a 6-foot distance between them. She's just like bent over, like,
if even Mugsy wants nothing to do with it.
And then apparently Velma didn't show up, and I write, why?
We don't know. She's just missing. She took off on that model rocket.
It's like, did that lady just quit the movie? Is she like, I've had enough?
I can't.
Probably, yeah.
This whole movie has been you sticking things in my ass, me having to pull a vibrator out of somewhere.
I gotta wear a balloon bra.
Like, this is degrading enough.
I've had enough of this.
So
She left with those two girls from the beginning. She's like, this is degrading to women. I've had enough of this shit.
So then Mugsy comes out and fights instead. And
Coming
I
out of
write,
retirement.
Against Wow. 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 Wow.
Little racist scene coming up.
So Tatanka comes out.
Doing the chop.
We have the Cleveland Indians mascot as a woman come out.
This is rough, man. This is...
In a big headdress doing the old woo. I'm like, oh, man.
Lady J Strongbow.
I'm like, 1984. Oh, boy. So,
big Redskins fan.
Yeah, this is...
it would have been better if Mugsy was like, well, call me Custa.
Oh, God.
This'll be my last stand.
I knew Custa. Sucked his dick. I gave him one of those blankets I was coughing in. So,
Oh, man.
so hey, it's not my movie.
It's true.
So the pervert uses his flashbulb to distract again. They've cheated to win.
It's a fucking DQ.
Yeah, do you hear the songs going underneath this? It was like Muggsy's got the odds stacked against her.
Oh, my God.
There's a fucking
Sung by
original,
Hughes.
there's an original
Yeah.
song underneath there.
I think you were singing that while you
I
watched
wish.
it.
Do you think it was Mr. Crowd? He's like, come on, Laura. Just sing along with me in the booth, right?
You got
right?
this.
Mugsy's got it.
Mugsy's got the odds.
Come on, Laura. Join in. Join in. She left.
Mugsy's girls. Mugsy's girls.
Come on, Laura. Just kind of sounds like Gloria. In the key of Gloria. Come on. Come on.
They're gonna win the wrestling match. Come on, you can do this.
Come on.
It's just Mr. Krabs singing the whole song.
We're going to break the top 40.
Where you going?
Oh, god damn it. So they've won the money, and then Jack off is all pissed.
Yeah.
Then we just drive home.
Yeah.
The bus is driving home. ADR, we are missing some people. They will catch up with us in a bit, and I write how. They basically leave.
Los Angeles or bust,
and they
Mike.
go like, did you see Velma? And they go like, fuck it. It's
Yeah.
just like at the end of Night Force, another Vestron release, where they're like, where's Linda? I don't know. Just get in the chopper.
That's a Vestron signature.
She'll take a cab. They just leave their friends And then for some reason, the pervert's on the bus, and I write, why? Get out of the movie, you fucker. Get out. Who invited him?
Mugsy.
What? Doesn't he have to go fucking write for the paper?
He doesn't need to do anything. Penthouse they can wait.
Do you think the paper is just a crumpled piece of notebook paper in his pants that he calls the paper? I finished my story, girls. You want to hear it? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess he's just leaving Vegas for his new life with Mugsy.
Here's the first edition of the paper. It's hot off the press.
Like, they show his face. They got a shot of this man. It's a fucking close-up. Get out of my movie. The Vegas Nazis van then pulls the bus over. Dookie comes out with a gun and threatens the bro guy. And apparently the bro guy now says, he goes, yeah, well, guess what? I got this detonator and I've rigged your bus with a bomb.
Why the fuck not?
And I'm
when
like,
did that happen?
That's why I go, when did this shit happen? Are we missing parts of this movie?
No, you missed the part where it was like a quick cut scene. They're like, this is for contingency. And it was like, I don't know, 45 minutes earlier.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, wow. Hughes, are you serious?
You're shitting me.
This came out of nowhere. A man's holding a detonator and he goes, I've rigged your van to blow.
Yeah.
Because reasonably so, they're like, well, bullshit.
Yeah, I'm like,
that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, right.
Like,
It doesn't.
I'm also
was
calling bullshit.
Yeah, when was the time spent?
But you know what? In a movie now that we can shoot fireballs at people, all suspension is out the window.
Nothing matters at this point.
Again, maybe this is all through the rabbit's
We're
head.
now in Teacup's head.
Like, do you think this is some sort of Jacob's Ladder scenario for the rabbit? Like...
Or Laura Branigan.
The end of this movie just zooms out, because I didn't watch till the end of the credits. It just zooms out, and we're just seeing the firework eyes, and we're still at that party.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah, exactly.
The rabbit's just been seeing this the whole time. Like,
So this is just the rabbit's trip down the him hole.
Yeah, there was a scene when the enforcer was doing the strip poker. They cut to Lane and the main guy wiring something up for a fast exit.
Man.
oh my God, I slightly remember that, and I didn't even write it down because I was like, well, this makes no sense.
Oh, God.
That must have been when I was gritting my teeth and closing my eyes real tight.
Well, fuck you, Hughes.
Fuck you, Hughes.
You're welcome.
Lane then shows up in the flying machine and throws something on the ground, and they all cheer like they won, but it did nothing. I mean nothing.
It's a distraction. He just throws the smoke bomb.
Like, yeah, he's got like a road flare, and he just goes, ha, and they're all like, we won. Oh, wait.
By the way, it's worth noting at this point, too, that the money that they want is an aquarium full of loose bills.
Yeah, like, apparently it's still in that plexiglass case.
It's just a fish tank with a bunch of ones wadded.
Well, we lost the key, so it's on you. Mob rules, baby. Lane then runs. He basically kills a man in a tracksuit. He runs him over.
This was the homage to North by Northwest that they threw at the end of here.
Yeah, he
hits him right upside the head.
Then he flies around again, and then he gets the money with some sort of like fishing line.
What's amazing is he has a grappling hook.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Then
shot.
This all could have been avoided if the dude just stepped to the left real quick while the plane was coming, got in the van and taken off.
It literally no sense. Then Mugsy runs over the detonator, and that van blows up, and I write, what the fuck? Why did they just put this in? Did they forget to film the actual putting a bomb there? But you've confirmed they did. So I guess, I don't know.
We were all damning your name and missed it.
I was just like, this makes zero sense. They've cut out a portion of this movie that we've lost. Like, it's lost to time unless that Vestron Blu-ray comes out. We're never going to know how this happened.
Nope.
The extended cut. The version you never saw.
Like, maybe a better idea would have been, while the mud wrestling competition's going on, they rigged that van.
Instead of standing around in a dress,
yeah,
he could have been elsewhere rigging the van.
Not 45 minutes before it had ever happened. Like, when they get to Vegas, they're like, hey, insurance policy. Everybody will remember this, right? No. Then Mugsy says something about teaching the boys in Gamma House to play with firecrackers, and I write, does this woman know where the fuck she is?
Nope.
No.
Shot of the bus driving away, and jacking off and Dookie are just sitting there with their dicks in their hands, watching as Lane flies after the bus with the money over the credits.
An original song called Winner Takes All.
All right, recommendations. We're ending with you, Hughes.
We're ending with
No,
Hughes?
actually, start with Hughes.
Yeah. This is your pick. You get to start off the recommendations.
I understand why this movie was on USA Up All Night.
That's not a yes or a no.
Yes or no.
He's getting
No. Do not watch this movie.
Senator Hughes, answer the question.
Hughes says no?
Wait, the Hughes choose. And you're saying don't watch this
This is a
movie.
blind watch for me as much as anybody else.
But
All
this
right.
is before we recorded. You said you can thank me later.
What, you didn't pick up on the sarcasm of that?
And Hughes is not sarcastic.
This fucker's trolling us. I'm new here and I figured that out.
So
this guy just wanted to harb us.
Fuck you, Hughes. This is a no for you?
This is a no for me.
You son of a bitch.
A yes for you?
Man, what do you say?
No.
Bobby?
Fuck you, Hughes. I hated this movie with a fiery passion. Give me Lunch Wagon.
I'd watch Lunch Wagon over this.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
After we're done with this episode, we're all gonna go watch Lunch Wagon just to clear our palates.
This movie, I don't know why I was entertained while watching it, but I will never fucking watch this movie again. Fuck you, Hughes.
Fuck you, Hughes.
Fuck
this
you,
movie
Hughes.
should burn in hell. They shouldn't release a Blu-ray of this. They will. They will.
There will be commentary.
By Hughes.
By Ruth Gordon.
You know, yes.
Posthumously.
The ghost of Ruth Gordon, just chains rattling, and
This was the part where I fucked my guy.
there
There was a lot more fucking they cut out of the movie, believe it or not.
Oh man, I very much enjoyed talking about this movie, but I really regret watching it.
Fuck you, Hughes. And he knew it was going to be bad too, because I said to everybody, I'm like, you can all pick your movies, and then Hughes. Oh, sorry. And then Hughes just says to everybody, he's just like, oh, I'm going to pick this Mugsy's Girls movie. And we all just kind of look at it like, have you watched it before? No, it's going to be good.
And we got a show out of it.
We did, to be fair.
You can watch it for free on YouTube. I don't recommend it. Look for that Future Vestron Blu-ray, remastered and everything, with all those Ruth Gordon deleted sex scenes. It'll be wonderful.
I hope that the sections are recreated like the opening credits.
Do you guys hear that sound?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby, is that you?
And DeVito eating a can of peaches.
Just slurping them down?
Yeah.
Eating them with only their mouths? Trying to suck it right out of the jar?
Yeah, basically.
You think it's the half peaches? Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Definitely.
Chris, how do you think Bobby and DeVito fit in the world of Mugsy's Girls?
I think Bobby and DeVito would both dress up as female mud wrestlers in their matches. And
could see
just
that.
go for it, and just completely go for it, and would try to rip off their clothes and be like, it's fair, it's fair. Yeah, that's.
They're the defending champions.
Yeah.
I'm so dead.
So I'm.
Fuck you, Hughes.
Yeah.
Hughes, how do you think they'd fit in this movie?
Danny and Vito would be the bus drivers that would ferry the teams around the country to all these mud wrestling events and get trim on the side.
Like, do you think DeVito and Bobby would be like, all right, girls, we got a new split for you, 70-30?
Oh. It's the third team we didn't see.
Yeah.
That
No.
all went down before.
They recruit the sorority girls afterwards. They're like, why go back to college when you can make money?
Yeah.
70-30 split. And then when they drive away, he goes, Bobby, I didn't tell him which way 70, which way 30.
I think they're parked at the Stallion Ranch.
Like, if you would pan over, you'd see the straight arrow.
Like shortly after they left, after hanging up the enforcer, Bobby came over and retrieved that zucchini off the crowd.
Do you think they own
Well,
the
if you're
Stallion
not
Ranch?
using this. Oh, yeah. What are you doing?
They're the two stallions.
They're the two stars. You know, Bobby,
Yes.
it's very disappointing. Everybody wants to come here for the bras. We can't get the women to come here for us. The two stallions. We've been putting those paper ads.
The main
on them.
event.
That guy in the trailer has to go to the front desk and talk about his extra $20. Bobby and DeVito are behind the counter.
Like, the reason they have trailers is because the original idea of the business wasn't working. Is the ads they kept putting out is like, a whorehouse, finally, a whorehouse for women. That was the goal. Come and fuck the two hung stallions. And it's just a picture of Bobby and DeVito hip to hip. And they both obviously have zucchini taped to the legs, right?
Like that famous twins.
You go, you know, Bobby, for some reason this isn't working. Maybe we should hire female whores. We can kind of supplement the business, and then hopefully we'll finally get one of the women to come in and do business with us.
We know we've already made the sides.
The only lady who showed up is this Ruth lady. I honestly think, well, I definitely think they attended that mud wrestling competition. I mean,
they're there.
That would definitely be something they were into. Also, they may have been writing their own, quote, paper. I'm surprised I didn't see Bobby or DeVito as the referee.
True.
But I feel like they might just go, you know, Bobby, these broads are going to wrestle, and there's a lot of mud there. They don't, it's be real easy to maybe slip ourselves into that mud. Kind of. Gonna pretend you're a ring post, if you know what I mean.
You think when that girl got trapped face down in the mud for a 3 count and couldn't get up, it was because Bobby was holding on to her?
Yeah.
There's a pair of muddy hands just came up and grabbed her around her waist.
You just see this big muddy poof come on top of someone. Well, thank you for joining us on the worst episode of the Grindbin of all time.
We have a new worst film we've seen.
I don't know.
This is not the worst film you guys have covered.
No. Nothing. I don't know if anything will ever be worse than Tentacles.
No, it's
I would watch this over Tentacles.
Fuck Tentacles.
Yeah.
What about the Black Devil doll?
No, Tentacles is the worst movie I've ever seen. I've never
Tentacles
seen a
is rough
lazier
stuff.
movie in my life.
Cool soundtrack. I'll give it that.
Yeah, the soundtrack.
Cipriani,
is great.
man, you can't beat that.
But yeah, if you want to find us at GrindPod on Twitter, Facebook, the Grindbin Podcast, grindhousefilm.com. Go and comment. Rate and review on iTunes. Also, we're on Instagram, the Grindbin Podcast. Hughes, you got anything to plug?
No, I hope to choose another film soon.
Fuck you, Hughes. Hashtag fuck you, Hughes is what we'd like everybody to
absolutely
tweet at us this episode. Please use the hashtag fuck you, Hughes.
On our Instagram, on our Twitter.
Man, you'll be in New Jersey next week.
Well, I don't know when this is airing. So.
Yeah, you will be maybe back home.
Yeah, who knows?
This airs.
Yeah, get it together, Wood. We don't know when this is airing. Stop deciding where I'm going to be.
Chris plays in a band. Go look him up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's not.
I do like his. He's got a great shirt on that says "Drop It In."
Mm-hmm.
I like this shirt here. Mm-hmm. That's it. Oh, Bobby, do you got anything to plug?
Yeah, if any listeners are going to be in the Los Angeles area, I got nothing.
Bobby, fuck you, Hughes.
The better they come, the harder they fall. When you got your back to the wall, you got nothing to lose. Kick off your running shoes, stand and fight. They'll expect you to crawl, but the winner takes it all tonight. The winner takes it all tonight. Everything is gonna be alright. When the ice gets thin, you just can't give in, 'cause the winner takes it all tonight. Impossible odds are made to be beaten. When it looks like certain defeat and no hope to be found, you gotta hold your ground, wrong or right. The harder they fall and the winner takes it all tonight. The winner takes it all tonight. Everything is gonna be alright. When the ice gets thin, you just can't give in, 'cause the winner takes it all tonight.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky got no field coach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
You could have a decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.